Your ritual! The best of the underground!
Hey, Ritual Madness Podcast. How you doing? It's Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a fantastic 4th and you have all your fingers and toes and all that other stuff. I've seen some nasty videos online of no people with no finger that blow themselves up pretty damn good this 4th. So Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you tuning in. Do me a favor, check out the Shred Den, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., 9100 85th Avenue North, Suite 100, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Give them a call at 763-350-2191. You can see them on Facebook, the YouTubes, a little bit of Instagram, some TikTok, and you can reach them at www.theshredden.net. If you're looking for some, they got strings, they got fucking picks, they got all that fancy stuff down there. Lots of cool guitars. I wish the shop was bigger because they would have so much more shit to deal, they probably don't. They're probably like, this is perfect size. We can keep track of all this stuff. But do me a favor, check those guys out. Also, check out Narwhal's Design Solution with Justin Boney. You can reach him on Facebook, Instagram, and the World Wide Web. Narwhal Design Solutions, Justin Boney at gmail.com. I am still in the works of trying to get the t-shirt design that he put together for me, getting the cash together with that, and you can help me with it. Right here, do me a favor. If you feel like donating, it'd be great. Consider donating to the podcast. Just scan the QR code, select the tip amount, and I appreciate you for all of your support in the years doing this podcast. We've been doing it a little while. This is episode 315, I believe. That's quite a few. couple hours. What's going on, fellas? We got the guys from Corsair here.
Oh boy, there.
That was their tune, Twisted Path, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So lots of questions for you. First one, go around the table. Tell me what you do in the band and your name.
My name is Craig. I do vocals and guitar in the band.
Damn, Craig. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, hold on a second. I might have.
Mic's not on.
Hold on. Let me make sure I got things going on here. Yep, that's why.
The drummer, he doesn't know how to use.
There
a
you
mic.
go. Try again.
I don't know anything about anything.
He just hit
These stupid mics. I got sticks in my hand. Bam, bam.
Yeah. My name is Jared. I'm the drummer in the band.
Welcome.
And I'm Wilson. I play bass.
Welcome. So how's it going, fellas? How's your week?
It's been fairly full. I don't know. Not too bad. Pretty chill.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah. What do you guys do for work?
So I primarily work like audio engineering, lighting, do some freelance stuff.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I've actually heard your work.
Yes, you have.
I've seen you a few times.
Around.
Yeah, for sure. How about yourself, sir? What do you do for work?
Oh, well, we should have finished with Craig because he has the most interesting job. I work in an office job. It's boring. I just schedule trucks and that sort of thing.
Logistics stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My
Nice.
title is logistics coordinator.
There you go.
Ooh, he
Chaos
coordinates
coordinator,
Y-
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at this building, and I've been ringing this doorbell for 5 minutes, and they won't come out.
I have had calls like that.
Do they have a driver's door where you check in? I didn't look.
It's a lot of what are their loading hours, and the truck broke down, so can we reschedule for tomorrow? No, you can't fucking reschedule for tomorrow.
Right. Right. So the places that you send trucks to, do they have on your times? Are they pretty strict with that shit?
Yeah, usually it's
Yeah.
a lot of like manufacturing production stuff. Why are we talking about this? We're here for
no,
music.
I know.
This is
I know.
the
I know.
boring part.
No, it's not. It's part of the story because, when you're in aggressive music, see, you filter your life through the music, and that's how it all ties into it. So, if it's boring as fuck, where you're going, this sucks. You know what I mean? You're pounding it out. You're getting it out. That's why
That is fair. That is true. Yes, that is true.
So my job is boring as shit too. I work in a warehouse, but I'm around logistics a lot, so I know how chaotic it is.
Yeah.
I deal with truck drivers and meatheads all day long. Like, was I supposed to chalk my tires? Do you want your fucking trailer to roll down the hill? What do you want it to do, buddy?
Yeah.
How about you, sir?
I'm an electrician.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know.
Playing with lots of voltage or what?
Playing with Zeus.
Is it residential or commercial?
A little bit of both.
Nice.
Right now, mostly commercial.
Nice?
Right now, I'm wiring or working on a new school project thing.
Nice. So now how much schooling did you have to go for that?
I didn't do any schooling.
Really?
I learned on the job. I'm a
Grandfathered.
licensed journeyman.
Nice. That's
I
badass.
just went through, did my apprenticeship, passed the test.
Nice. That's really cool.
Now I get a van.
Nice. So Now, being in the trade like that, are you guys you have high demand in your field right now?
I think so. Yeah. Like if I were to, I actually just recently started at the place that I'm working at now a few months ago, but in my job search, it didn't take too long for me to find a new job. And it's like, all right, I'm going to leave this place I'm at and interview with this place. And like, yeah, we'd love to have you. Cool.
Yeah.
That's easy.
If you're skilled, they'll take you. They need skilled laborers, man. You know, I'm seeing people that are putting it down. Honestly, the younger generation, they're not doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like carpenters and electricians and all the people, you know, doing the shit that keep everything going. Not a lot of people do. That means the prices are going to go higher too.
Yeah. There's some younger kids out there that are getting in there. Like I work with some apprentices that are pretty young. So it's like, it's good to still see people that are younger and getting into it. But yeah, there's kind of a more need for workers than there is supply.
I just saw something really cool yesterday, just scrolling through Facebook or YouTube or some shit, and it was a tradesman, and he was talking about don't be a gatekeeper to the younger generation, because he's like, I work with a lot of younger cats that actually want to learn. They're not just here trying to like skate by to make money and do all that
like
shit.
The people that I learned from, like one of them is just super grumpy old guy. Like, wouldn't always explain things. And like if you didn't do something right that you didn't know, he would like get angry and yell at you. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I did. Like,
It's
I
hard.
didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that.
It's
like,
hard to tell them too. You know what I mean? You're going like, dude, you're going here. Fix that. You're like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what are we trying to do here?
Right.
And now they'll go, well, you know what? I had to stumble through it. You got to do it too. That's the kind of gatekeeping bullshit.
And it's like now when I'm teaching somebody how to do something that doesn't know it, I try and have the perspective of, well, I didn't know this when I started, especially somebody like me who started on the job, no education or anything, just raw dogging it. And
thrown in the fire.
Just thrown into the fire, and trying to understand that with some people who don't know everything. So try and be as accommodating as you can and teach them how.
Which has got to be kind of frustrating too, coming from their perspective at some points. You know what I mean? But they have to like lighten the fuck up a little bit to be like, oh, this dude's trying at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of cats will just show up and try to breeze through it, and get electrocuted.
It's
some serious business.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't want to play with high voltage if I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
I don't think I've been shocked on the job. Like I usually just highest voltage I'd work with is 480, but I never work on that live.
Right.
But I've like 120 if you're troubleshooting something like a light's not working and you're trying to figure out a splice or something. Whatever.
Stick your tongue to it like a battery.
You test wires, but like last time I was shocked was probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
Like I tend to be pretty safe when it comes to that.
Probably spooked you just enough to be like, oh, this could be, wow.
I've been shocked on the job a few times. Not like anything super bad. Just you touch the wrong thing and like the side of an outlet or something when you're pulling it out. And it's still live. And hey now. All right,
that little bite.
Now I know not to touch the side. It was a rough first couple months when I was learning on the job.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Imagine. They're probably sitting there going, "He's gonna touch it. He's gonna touch it."
Well, I mean, a lot of them was like when I
that breaker's off.
Yeah. No, when I first started working as an electrician, the first job I did was a hotel renovation for like an older hotel downtown.
Yeah.
So like the panels for all the rooms were like down the hallway, so they're like, all right, so we're gonna change these outlets out hot. So you're gonna like, this was like maybe second or third week of me being on the job. First 2 weeks was just me running trash out the thing, but so like, all right, so you're gonna learn how to do this. It's basically like a game of operation when you're pulling an outlet out. So you pull it out straight. If you touch the side of the box to the metal ring, it's gonna blow up. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, sure enough, after a couple, I did that, and they're like, "You see what happens? All right, no, let's do that." And then I'll get shocked, accidentally touch on the side. All right, I learned not to do that. So,
I learned the whole fun playing with a pair of dikes and not unplugging the tool that you're repairing. And clip a wire, and it just goes. And it sparks. And then you look at your dikes and they've got, circles where the wire was, and you have that forever. You gotta,
The last tool I blew up, which was probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I still use to this day.
No shit.
It's
A stark reminder.
I should probably get a new one just because they're dull.
Yeah.
But it's my wire strippers of all things. I was cutting a cable with it, and I was told it was dead. I didn't check, so I cut it, and it blew up the cutter part of it. And yeah, I still use it
I
to
laugh
this day.
because I've been there before, dude. I know that shit.
It blew up. I was like, ah. But then now I have this big hole in my strippers, and now it actually strips like larger wire that isn't on the gauge because it goes up to 10 gauge, but I can strip like
12,
6 and 8, like the larger size wire now with that thing, and I've been doing it. I've been doing it for years now, and it works.
That's a custom tool right there, man. All right, man. So we did that. Everybody's doing good. We're all busting our balls at our jobs and living life, man. So we did the intros. Now, what I like to ask people the first time they come on the show is, what were you listening to as a kid? Like, what were your brothers and sisters listening to? What were your folks listening to? What was in the air as a kid? I mean, I was just talking to my daughter at a graduation party, and we were talking about this, that a lot of my daughter's like one of those special kids that is just like me, where she has to have music on all the time. She's always got an earbud in, always listening to things. My wife, on the other hand, she's really not a musical person. She likes music, but she doesn't wake up and go, I gotta turn that, dance while she's fucking cleaning and shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead. What were you listening to? What was going on in the house as a kid? Any of you?
Oh, should I start this one again? I guess I'm gonna start all of them.
You're the captain.
You're the starter. Yep.
I guess like radio wise, listening to a lot of oldies, like 50s and 60s,
Sure.
that kind of stuff. Lots of Christian music.
Yeah.
And
now, were your folks religious at that point? Yeah.
Yeah. And then got into heavier stuff in like middle school.
Sure.
My buddy showed me Master of Puppets, and I'm like,
well,
what is this?
Let me back you up, though. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of the oldies, and then and now your folks are religious. So did they frown on anything as you're moving forward when you're finding music, when you're doing things like that? Were they very strict and not allowing you to listen to certain things?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. But as time goes on, it's like you just listen to what you want. And,
Like, what kind of Christian stuff were you listening to at that?
Like 1,000 Foot Crutch. I mean, some of the getting into the harder rock, like
Christian hard rock.
Yeah. POD, Pillar. Those were good ones. Switchfoot.
Yeah.
Reliant K.
Now, those are. I mean, a couple of those I've actually worked those shows at the Quest.
Oh yeah,
I worked POD a few times at the Quest.
Well, yeah,
I thought they put on a great show.
Yeah,
totally.
I didn't know they were Christian.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
I was like, and then I was like, what does POD stand for? Paid on death, payable on death, or some shit like that, or something like that.
I don't even.
And somebody was telling me that they were Christian. I was like, what, really? And then they, like, years after I'd worked the show, one of them got busted or got affiliated doing blow or some crazy shit. And I just kind of was like, you're a rock star.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like Creed, like Scott Stapp. Like, their whole thing was like they're kind of this, like, the poster boy Christian rock band.
Yeah, didn't he do porn with Kid Rock and Blow with a bunch of
I think he was just
midgets?
Just a shithead in general. And that kind of
makes
came
sense.
out, and that band fell apart for a while until now they're back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just like to get a little bit more, backstory on that.
Oh yeah.
So you find Master of Puppets. Now was that a radio find, or was that like a?
Oh, my buddy showed me that.
Nice.
Just hanging at his house, and I remember listening to it, and we got to like the interlude, and he's just like, "Oh, we can skip this part. This part is boring."
What'd you do? Wait.
Oh no! At the time, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
Some of the coolest bass shit ever.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and of course, then listening back, I'm like, this is a masterpiece.
You call him up and go, "Hey, remember that song you used to skip all the time, you jackass?" Like, listen to it again.
Yeah, we figured it out. But
so was he was he in a red suit with horns on his head? Was he like, "Hey, come over here to the dark side. Let's listen to some fucking metal, dude"?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Just was like, "This is Metallica. Let's rock."
Yeah, he's like, this is cool. Let's listen to this while we're playing Command and Conquer.
Okay.
It was great.
So it's just background music at the time?
Yeah, I mean, like, and the soundtrack with Command and Conquer is
Sure.
super heavy, and yeah, I don't know.
Now, where were you? Where was your mind when you were like, you listened to that and it got heavy, and you know what I mean, like that sludge, that feeling, that crunchiness.
Oh yeah,
Were you balls to the wall after that? Were you looking for heavier shit every other corner, or what?
pretty much, yeah. Because then we got into, I mean, some of the metalcore stuff, and yeah, like Bring Me the Horizon, their first album, just, Pray for Plagues, Count Your Blessings,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Here Comes the Kraken, I remember that. Yeah, so in high school, just getting into the heavier stuff, and then also finding like Between the Buried and Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just starting to get into some of the proggier stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what? Now were you playing an instrument at this time?
Oh yeah, so I was in like just band with school
Okay.
growing up.
Yeah.
Did percussion, played drums in like jazz band, marching band,
Mhm.
and then I was teaching myself guitar in like middle school because I got my first guitar from my grandpa.
What'd you get?
It was a like off-brand Telly, a Lion,
Okay.
Washburn. Yeah.
What were some of the songs that you started learning as a kid?
Yeah, I remember some like Reliant K songs, you know, at that time in like middle school. Some of that 1,000-Foot Crouch.
Now were you tabbing it at the time? Were you looking for
Oh, yeah.
tab? Or were
Tabs, ultimateguitar.com.
I know so many
Represent.
people that
Oh, yeah.
that teach themselves, and then all of
Mhm.
a sudden it's very few and far between, but they catch the ear where they can hear the shit and then go, oh, it's right there, and then all of a sudden they're playing a fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I had a buddy who learned Surfing with the Alien,
Mm.
Satriani shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Can you hear that?" And so he made my ears better by him pointing little things out. And I always tell this on the show with my daughter as well. Phonics, the cadence of things and how she would remember those. And to this day, she remembers every fucking lyric that she hears. You know what I mean? And we'll hear the song 2-3 times, go back and she's singing it all the way through. That type of shit. And I used to be like that all the time until I started hanging around with musicians that were like, "Can you hear that guitar?" And you're like, "What?" And they're pointing out every note and every little thing, and all of a sudden your ears are going a different direction, and the vocals slowly move back. And then when I tried to learn how to play drums, and then tried to learn how to play bass, it was like it slowly moved further back, and now I'm connecting all the shit. And it's like ADD for music. So I'm like guitar. Oh, I hear do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You know what I mean? And I'm, you know what I mean? Right. That's the thing. So as you were learning that and you're tabbing, you're learning that stuff. How fast did your ears catch up?
Oh, I didn't even know. I don't know if that's something I've thought about. Yeah.
It's kind of a trip because I always I feel like
It's such a
people
distant, foggy time.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of years in between there, man. You know? Lots of cool shows, and you know.
Well, yeah, I think it's a little different just being in band too, because that's like music is just constantly there. So I think when it comes to guitar, there wasn't necessarily much of that like change because I was kind of already into reading music and just playing in groups.
Right. You had
So
the
it's pretty
puzzle in
natural.
front of you. And I
Yeah.
always explain that to people too, man, who are not musicians. You know what I mean? Like, I'm lucky I stumbled into the puzzle. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's kind of like the Hellraiser puzzle. You know what I'm saying? You open it, something comes out. You know what I mean? It can be good and it can be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get into a band, you know, you guys rock out a little, you know, somebody gets strung out, you know, like the rock and roll cliche type shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of one of those weird deal. ADHD, sorry. That'll
Believe
happen.
me, I got it.
That'll happen. That'll happen. So now so moving from drums to guitar, like what was your transition in that period?
I mean, not really a transition because I was doing both at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't like just moving from one instrument to another. It was playing this, being in groups, picking up this other one, being in groups and continuing both. And yeah. I mean, before that, I started on like doing piano lessons in like elementary school. So
you were all over the place with
Yeah.
it. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I always tell, people that I can get in their ear to talk about music. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it's super important for kids to be involved in it in any facet at all. You know what I mean? Because
absolutely.
it's an adventure. You know what I mean? It is really like jumping on a ship and going for it. You know what I mean? You never know where it's going to take you, but it's always fun. You know, it's always a blast.
That is for sure.
I mean, even the worst time, you're still having a blast. You know, looking back at it, tour stories, any of that shit like that. You know, you're like, man, that sucked, but pretty glad I experienced that situation. You know,
Any of the times we've been to Milwaukee are like that.
Wow,
No,
dude.
just the last time wasn't too bad, I don't think. Right? I
Was-
don't remember. When was the last time we were in
Rockstar
Milwaukee?
Saloon.
Okay, maybe not that time.
We've been to Madison, and that was fine.
Madison,
but
maybe that's all.
both, we've been to Milwaukee twice, and both times are two of the worst shows we've ever
Okay.
had.
like playing wise, or just like the way it all
The
ran,
whole
or-
set.
The whole-
Yes,
the whole-
all of
yeah,
the
it's-
above.
Yeah.
Train wreck.
Yeah.
Though
That's
the one time we did basically run into Wolf Mask and met them
That
for the
was-
first time
yeah.
out in Milwaukee.
oh wow.
Yeah.
That was like the only good thing to
Yeah.
come out of that show, besides the story.
That's a really good thing, though. Those
Yeah.
guys are fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Such cool guys.
Mhm.
Such laid back, good dudes. They've been around forever, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like each one of them, prospectively, has done so much cool shit musically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, sir? What were you listening to as a kid? What was going on
Well,
in the house?
I'm a little bit younger than these guys.
Okay.
So I was also raised in a very Christian household. So I started with like Toby Mac and Jeremy Camp and your like worship albums.
Sure.
Then I found a band called Red,
Okay.
which was a Christian hard rock band.
Okay.
I still listen to them. They're still one of my favorites. They kind of got into like the cinematic side of things and a little bit of the screaming,
Okay.
which I liked. And
Like from the get go, back in the day, you were like, "Oh, this is cool." They're
yeah, they had one song called "Death of Me" that had a little bit of it in there, and I really liked it. Yeah, it was really cool. So
now. Let me ask you this. I don't mean
Yeah.
this is going to happen a bunch. I
yeah,
ask you
go
this.
for it.
When it comes to screaming, like, was it just, accents? Wah, you know what I mean? Or I mean,
So
Did-
they do like the Fry screams.
Okay.
It's very like kind of one pitch
okay,
type stuff, but it's still like very like angsty, and they get that emotion out. And their music is like that slow, sad, like cinematic rock. Which I
so
love
when it
that
builds
shit.
like that and
Yeah.
it gets to that crescendo, you're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
where'd that come from?"
Yeah. So, and it kind of like matches the emotion. Like it gives off the emotional vibe that I had never heard before. And
Yeah.
everything, because so much of what I had listened to up to that point was very much like, God is our savior and we are so happy and all of that.
Yeah.
And so just to have that like drastic shift of mood was something that kind of like stuck out to me.
Yeah.
So throughout like middle school, I was listening to that sort of thing. And then in high school, a guy from church, a youth group, I don't know if you remember Chris Brown.
Oh, yeah.
He gave me a box of CDs that had a bunch of Christian metal in it. So like Demon Hunter, Becoming the Archetype, there might have been a Haste the Day in there. And then there was also Solid State Records samplers. So that got me into like that sort of thing, because that was like more primarily screaming and fast double kick stuff.
Sure.
And it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And on one of those Solid State samplers was a song by a band called August Burns Red. That kind of opened up that rabbit hole for me of like a proggier metalcore side of things.
Right.
And I maintain that Rescue and Restore is the album that kind of changed music for me, and I'm wearing the shirt from
Nice.
the 10-year tour.
That's pretty
'Cause I'm
rad, man.
that much of a fucking nerd.
No, but
so-
that means it really had an impact on you,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, Parliament Funkadelic, dude. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite bands. It's the only Parliament shirt I own, but I had to have one
yeah.
because I went on this funk thing for a good long time, and I'm like, I gotta have a Parliament, dude. This is like one of the records that I saw as a kid. My mom was way into funk and R&B, and
Yeah.
I just loved it. So let me ask you, and I've talked about this on the podcast a whole bunch too, and I love to refer to it because it's when you're finding music, okay, and your friend gives you a box of these albums, at that point, you're listening to it, and were you kind of in amazement that it got that heavy? I mean, when it came to like the Christian side of things, like listening to worship stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, this happens?
Yeah, so when you get into Christian metal, there's still a lot of like the worship stuff.
Yeah.
But then also too, there's a lot of the stuff that's like end of times, whatever.
Yep.
And that's kind of the themes that a lot of the metal seems to focus on.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I've been hearing about that stuff forever, but musically, yes, it's very much like, at the start, it was like, oh, how can this be like Christian or whatever? And then it kind of like turned into a respect of like, yeah, they're taking this and kind of making it into their, or like kind of
positive,
twisting it towards their message. Yeah. Which is not how I view that as much now. I'm not very religious anymore or anything at all. Which was kind of the next step of my musical journey too, whereas like, as I was kind of getting through the end of high school, I was only listening to Christian bands. Like, it was my thing. I was exclusively, I can only listen to Christian bands, and it's bad if I don't. And then kind of near the end of high school, I kind of opened up a little bit, and it was kind of cool looking back, because it's kind of, I rediscovered music again a little bit, and the heaviness of it.
Yeah.
I opened up to things like Chelsea Grin and like just all of deathcore, really.
Right.
And
now let me ask you this. Now, were you apprehensive at the time, like switching it up, like this is your thing, you're following that deal, you know what I mean? And as you like, what made you realize that it could have a positive message and still be heavy, and it didn't have to be Christian?
Just listening to it, really. And I mean, even I never really focused on the message. I was always about the music portion of it. Vocals were something that were there.
Background.
And and so especially in that time when I was moving away from the Christian stuff, it was like vocals were just another instrument. I didn't really care about the lyrics. There was some fucked up stuff that I was listening to that I probably wouldn't listen to now, because I do focus a little bit more on lyrics and stuff. Like Thyroid is Murder, like their first EP is just rough with the lyrical themes there, but like their like Hate and everything after is stuff I can still listen to. But yeah,
that's awesome, dude. So now as you're discovering these other bands, now in your mind, are you you're just listening to the music, so that the lyrics aren't really messing with you? I would figure if you were
was still very much he said fuck. Oh, what am I gonna do?
Oh, wow.
But then it's also like, I kind of like it when they say fuck. It's really angry, and that's like how I'm feeling about a lot of stuff right now.
Right.
And
just being young, right?
Yeah,
just coming of age, and you're kind of learning things, and you see the hypocrisy in life. You see that you're getting closer to to see where your parents are at. You know, they've seen things. You're starting to see things.
Yeah.
That's a cool kind of bridge to cross. You know what I'm saying? When it comes from music, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're kind of focused on one specific area of it, you know what I mean? And as you find it, and as it blossoms, and you're like, holy shit, it's a sea of coolness. You know what I mean? There's just so much. Like, what other stuff do you listen to besides metal?
A lot. I like some pop music. Taylor Swift is my girl, you know. So
Swiftie.
Lana Del Rey, I actually probably like a bit more than Taylor Swift. I'm also really into movie soundtracks. Like the Lord of the Rings soundtrack is amazing. Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack, if you look at our Spotify, you'll know that one. Mad Max Fury Road has a great soundtrack. Other than that, sad white girl music.
Love it.
After we play shows, I like to throw on like the
you got like your drive home playlist.
That's like
you guys all have that? You guys all have a drive home play? I mean,
I don't.
You cool it out after you're done, or what?
I'm the only one who drives usually. So.
Yeah.
So they're listening. They're stuck listening to what you're listening to.
Dude,
what is this?
I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah. It's like electronic kind of.
It's kind of like the retro, like the '80s flavor of synthwave. It's like modern, but electronic music. Like Gunship is the biggest one, or like Hurtwave, if you know the Dayseeker side project.
Okay.
That sort of thing, like the chill electronic stuff.
It's very soothing on a drive home in the middle of the night from Brainerd.
after you just kick ass on going super 100 miles an hour, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's I agree.
I'm also into a little bit of post rock, like God is an Astronaut and This Will Destroy You. He showed me that side of things. So Collapse, what is it? Collapse
Under the Empire?
Yeah, I say that's my favorite one, and I don't even know their name, but it is probably my favorite post rock.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. How about you, sir?
Oh gosh. Well, did not grow up in a Christian household, so no Christian Minecraft server here. Now I can visualize or whatever, think of my whole evolution of like how I got to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Strangely enough. So whatever, my dad, he kind of listens to anything. He'd listen to the rock station or like classic rock. My mom always listened to like the adult alternative. And my brothers, the two that were kind of actually listening to music that I was interested in was like, they listen to like Eminem and some kind of that late 90s, early 2000s gangster rap.
Sure.
And the one thing that I don't remember how I found them, but I ended up getting the CD. It might have been I saw like their music video on MTV, but this has kind of been a through line throughout my entire like music enjoyment of my life is Limp Bizkit's Chocolate Starfish.
Okay.
I got that CD when it came out and listened to that thing over and over and over again.
Right.
And that's always been a through line with me. But there was a period of time where when that came out and then to my next like milestone of like music evolution, I don't really know what happened in between, but I think a lot of my music tastes come from the media I consume. So early 2000s, I started getting into like WWE and wrestling and stuff.
Sure.
So at the time, they had a lot of wrestlers had like the actual like
theme music,
real band licensed themes.
Yep.
So like a lot of them would be like hard rock stuff, and the pay-per-views would have like featured songs. Like SummerSlam 2003 was Metallica Saint Anger.
Nice.
And that was probably the first time I actually ever like paid attention and listened to Metallica. It's unfortunate that it was Saint Anger, but you know.
Peak snare drum sound, right?
Peak
there.
snare. Honestly, it's making a comeback.
Yeah, I hate it.
So now in this whole time frame, were you're playing the instrument at this time too?
Nope,
not at all.
Not yet.
Wow.
Nope. Yeah. So, yeah, my interest in rock music started to go up as I went through like late elementary school, junior high, and I'm trying to think. As I got more into that, like there were a couple of things that it almost felt like getting into heavier stuff was like a bit of trying it out, not liking it at the moment, taking a step back, and then eventually getting to it. So like at one point, I think a wrestler had like Kill Switch Engage as the theme song. I was
heavy.
Like, oh, that's kind of cool. The guitar and stuff is really cool, but I don't know if I like the screaming vocals.
Right. Did you shelf it? Did you shelf it?
I shelved it. I shelved it, and then somehow later on I got back to it. Like I had that song on my MP3 player and listened to it a bunch, and I was like, okay, I'm used to it now. So then I start diving into End of Heartache and Daylight Dies.
Yep.
Those ones just came out then. That was the next like step
springboard.
Up into the evolution, and then at the same time I had other influences or things that I liked. Avenged Sevenfold was another big one. Really liked their older stuff of the like actual kind of metalcore.
Yeah.
But one thing that really pulled me to them was the dueling guitars and all that. And I think that might have been one of the catalysts for me wanting to actually learn how to play guitar.
Right.
So at the time, mid 2000s, my dad had like an acoustic guitar that he was trying to learn, but he didn't really stick with it.
It was there though.
It was just kind of hanging out there. So I was like, every now and then I'm kind of just pick at it, and he'd say like, you want to learn? Like you can, I can't teach you, but you can pick it up and try to learn. So I'd like noodle around and figure it out myself.
And you do.
Yeah. You know, start trying to learn how to play your basic chords and stuff, and then basically my whole life has just been YouTube University for learning guitar.
Yeah.
So I'm not like when these guys bring up songs and stuff, and we're kind of doing like run throughs of new songs that say are written in Guitar Pro.
Yeah.
They're looking at like all the notation and stuff, and I'm like, I'm just kind of going by feel, and I can read tabs, but the notation is, I can't visually transcribe it.
Yeah.
I have to like listen to it, kind of figure it out, and it's a back and forth.
But the feel comes there.
The feel eventually comes. Yes,
dude. That really personifies the whole thing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I look at music, I think that there's like a point that pops up where you get the feel of it. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're listening to it and you're kind of into it. You know what I mean? And you see, you know, musicians as they're playing, and the more you're getting into music, you're like, why does he do that in that one particular part? Like, and you see one guy hit a note, and he's just like, he gets the stank face on him, and you know what I mean? Or a drummer, you know what I mean? A drummer's doing this thing, and you see him hit a fill and just go into something super heavy, or I don't know. You see that, you know, a fucking guitar player, and he's going to sing, and he hair whips and goes, and you know, he's into it, you know? That to me is the feeling. Somebody said that to me watching me play when they were young. You know what I mean? They're like, dude, I remember seeing you and you're like all curled up playing air guitar. And he's like, I kept looking at you like, is this fucking guy for real? And he's like, then I saw you again and I just realized that you're so into it that's how you are. You know what I mean? I was like that in band practice. You know what I mean? It's just, I couldn't turn it down.
I mean, like that's kind of how I play. Like I get pretty into it, and it might just be because like that's how I like hit those notes and feel it out. Like even when I'm like recording parts, I'm like kind of really getting into it just to get that right.
Do you use these guys for cues too? Like my thing was always the drummer. Like if I couldn't catch, you know, like show me the riff, and I couldn't count it, like did it, and it's a half a note. You know what I mean? Like the riff is 3 different parts, right? That's one. You know what I mean? And I'm going, okay, that's fucking 3, dude. You know what I mean? And he's going, no, that's 1 because that's 1. Okay, I got that, right? Yeah. And you're trying to calculate while the drummer's going 100 miles an hour. Fucking. But if the drummer is going, you know, I'm gonna right into it, and here we go into the vocalist. I would always cue off the drummer or bass player.
I mean, sometimes I find my ways to pick up where I'm at.
And again, that personifies it too. Is like if you have the will, you'll fucking find the way to make it cool. You know what I mean? Like that's. Now, I notice you guys get into your instruments. You know what I mean? I haven't seen you guys live, but I see the video. You guys getting into it now. When you're watching these bands play, like coming up and seeing bands, what age did you see your first live band?
For me, I was still like kind of a late bloomer and things as I like late bloomer into getting guitar. Like I probably didn't go to my first actual like major concert that I can think of until like 2007.
No shit.
I went to Ozzy Osbourne, Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Great show to start on.
Show.
That's a fantastic show to start on, man. Who was playing guitar for Ozzy at that time? Zach Wilde?
Zach Wilde, yeah.
Nice. There was Mike Inez playing bass for him at that time, or was
that? I don't know. I didn't get too deep into
who was
Ozzy.
Doing what at the time. Yeah.
I just knew Zach Wilde was a guitar player, and Ozzy was there. Rob Zombie was there.
Yeah. Good times.
And
man.
at the time, it was painful to my ears, but in this moment was opening for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is painful. And then another thing, like a year or 2 later, I revisit in this moment. I'm like, okay, these guys are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like once I actually reset,
grew into it.
Yeah.
I always find that really crazy too when it comes to music. You know, I've done that a million times where someone will hype a band up and you're like, okay, I'll check it out. Between the Buried and Me is one of those bands that
it's Periphery for me.
Got me into
that.
Well, my one buddy was like telling me how great this band was, and I'll always go, what's the best album? What's the one you would recommend me to start with, you know? Because like Coheed and Cambria was one of those things where I heard it, I was working with a guy, and he was playing it all the time on the thing while we were screen printing shirts. And I'm like, what is this? This dude's voice is horrible, you know? But the music was absolutely amazing. So I was like, way heavy, but yet melodic. It had like Pink Floyd pieces
Oh, yeah.
to it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, Claudio's voice just grew on me, and I'm going, oh, I get it. And like the first few albums that I listened to, I was like, whoa, these guys are fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing them live, you know what I mean? They're borderline proggy too, you know what I mean? They're technical, and for the dude singing and playing those, it's just like, wow, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
It's just a trip to see how it all runs down. Now, so like you're pretty late bloomer when you said when it comes to going to shows and things like that. How about you fellas? What was like one of your early shows?
I think one of the first shows I went to, I was probably 13 or 14. It was Reliant K. And then kind of the biggest, I know one of the best shows kind of early on that I went to, I was maybe, sophomore, junior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Force, Teresis,
Wow.
Power Glove at the Myth. And that one just blew my mind too.
Oh, I can imagine. If you're into technical stuff, like that would just
and especially like the live performance aspect, because I remember Herman Lee like running around. He's on wireless, so he's back at the bar shredding and
playing over the fretboard or whatever.
With his crazy glowing ring and all that stuff. And then of course Teresis in their full Viking furs, and that was mind blowing to see.
Yeah. Dude, how about you, sir? What was one of your early shows?
So my first like show was really what you call a concert, because it was like Toby Mac at the Target Center or something.
Okay.
Whatever. It's not a personal setting, right? There's thousands of people there, but it was cool, and it was still like an important step in my music.
But you got to see the production behind all of that, which in a giant venue like that had to have been massive.
Yeah, it was really cool. They had like the LED panels. And this is a while ago, and they did a bunch of cool animation stuff that you didn't see a lot of at the time.
Yeah. Like back screens and things like that.
Yeah. And Skillet played as well, and they actually kind of stole the show a little bit. But they were doing
like
that
a lot
wall
early.
of like they had pyro, and they had like a wall of lights and stuff. But my first metal show, so my uncle actually flew up from Colorado to take me to see August Burns Red,
Nice.
Bless the Fall, Beartooth, and Defeater.
Mm-hmm.
And this like Beartooth opened, so you know it was a while ago.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget that show. August Burns Red had just released Rescue and Restore. Bless the Fall had just released Hollow Bodies. Beartooth had just released Sick and Disgusting, and all three of those are just solid albums.
Right.
And yeah, it just blew my mind. We were up on the balcony for the first three bands, so I got like a good view of how everything was going on the stage. And like Bless the Fall, their guitarists, like you could see their hands kind of crawling over their fretboards. I had never seen anything like that. And they're doing all this like fast double kick drumming and super technical metalcore stuff, and it just blew my mind. And then went down to the mosh pit for August Burns Red, so I got my first taste of the mosh pit and all of that. And
what'd you think of that?
I was a little nervous at first because I could see it.
You didn't see no blood though, so you were like,
no,
all right, nobody's getting their chops knocked out. You know what I mean? Like,
so but I could see it from the top, and you could see how crazy it gets. And Beartooth, Caleb Shomo knows how to work a crowd, so it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh no, we're gonna be in that. And then we get down there, and
now how old was your uncle at the time? Did he go with you? Obviously.
Yeah, he took me. He was there. I don't even know. I'm really bad with ages.
Yeah.
So I was a freshman in high school.
Okay. So you were probably like, oh.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. Somebody like spilled beer on me from the balcony like as soon as we got in the mosh pit. So I was a little sticky. And then August Burns Red starts and the pit explodes, and I had the fucking time of my life. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You just you push people, people help you back up, all of that. And it was just, that sense of community that you have in the pit, even though you don't like the people that are around you until the music starts, that whole thing.
And they like you. They'll stand there and they'll look like they don't ever want to talk to you. They're like, who's
'Cause they
this
don't.
dirtbag?
You don't want to talk to people at a show, but then the music starts and you get going with everybody. And
There's lots of pats on the back, lots of high fives and handshakes, and in between each tune, people are going, dude, great pit, especially if you knock someone on their ass.
Yeah, and
I broke a dude's back.
Yeah, and then of course August Burns Red fucking killed it, and that kind of like I had been listening to them, but that experience like cemented them as like that influence for me. Yeah,
that goes so far, man. You know what I mean? Like you'll always go back to those albums, man, forever. You'll always go back to those. Nothing else will compare to those.
Yeah.
Moving forward, you're like that will be your benchmark. You know what I mean? Like
so
I remember seeing them live at this point, and you're like, this was fucking great.
Yeah. And then I was lucky enough to get to kind of relive that with the Rescue and Restore anniversary tour. Yeah. Last year is really cool because there was a lot of that album they'd never played before. Right. So getting to hear all of that.
I love that bands are doing that now. They're going back and playing those old albums in their entirety. I love that. There's so many bands that could do that right now and just put a halt on. You know what I mean? Like go back and revisit that shit and learn. You know what I mean? Like that's got to be very uplifting for somebody to go, yeah, let's go play that album. You knew it was great. Everybody bought it. You know, it's fucking fantastic. And you're like, okay, so-and-so's playing this full album. And you're, yes, I grew up on these dudes are playing all that old shit. You know what I mean? Like that is so awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it was like BT Bam's Great Misdirect show for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that album is just the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Parallax too, a bit better, but you know.
That's the one that my buddy told me to listen to. He was like, and he kept asking me, like, did you listen to it? Did you listen? And then he was like, had his headphones on at work, and he just wouldn't pay attention to anybody. And I'm like, what the fuck are you listening to? And he goes,
where'd you go for the last 74 minutes?
He's like, dude, you have to listen to this album. He's like, it's a journey, dude. You have to listen to it.
Oh yeah.
And so I put it in, and I'm doing my work, and I'm like, oh, I see what he's talking about. You know, but again, we go back to that thing where people pump up those bands, and I'm like, okay, and you go in with those ears like you're expecting this amazing thing, and then you're like, you put it away, and then somebody will pull it out again, and something will hit you. You go back to it, and you're like, now I get it. Now I understand. Obituary was one of those bands. I traded my Obituary Cause of Death or Slowly Rerot cassette for Flotsam and Jetsam. I can't even remember which Flotsam and Jetsam was. But then I went back, and my friend was like, this tape sucks, and he threw it at me, and I was like, oh, you don't want this? And I took it back, and that was my death metal journey. I started like getting into that indecipherable fucking vocals, and you're like, oh, that's so cool. You know what I mean? I don't understand a word he said, and that's fantastic.
He does that, and you're like, I really felt that in my soul.
That's how it was with Cause of Death for me, though. You know what I mean? That whole album was one of those benchmark albums for me. The same with the first Deicide. And it's funny because what you guys are talking about, the Christian stuff, we would find these bands just out of you know, just randomly, like Deliverance and Believer and Living Sacrifice, and there's like a few that really stuck out to us as we were coming up, and I loved Believer. And so I got to go to Milwaukee Metal Fest in the beginning years of it, and I saw Deicide on their first album, like the most satanic ever, and then Believers right before him. And Glenn Beck's got, you know, he had to do that upside down cross like 7 times in his head, right? So I'm like looking at this dude, and I'm going, he's not much, you know, he wasn't as big as me at that time, and I'm looking at him and going, he's kind of a little dude, you know, but he's outside complaining about a Christian band opening up for him. You know, and he's like making a big deal out of it. Keep your religion out of my foot. And you're singing Satanism. It's like, shut up, dude. You make no sense. You know what I mean? Like, shut the hell up, dude. You look like a clown. And, you know, like that. That's how I used the name The Hexakin. And I got that from Don Decker. Used to be a big promoter around here for many years. He played in the band Anal Blast. And a lot of people know who he is. But I got that nickname from a Deicide show, going the other direction in the pit, and being just evil as fuck. So he always called me the Hexakin. I wasn't Mexican, I was Hexakin, you know? So that's how, like, it disappeared for many years, and then all of a sudden I get back in the NYDM, and one of the guys in Wisconsin called me that, and I was like, where the fuck did you hear that from? And he's like, Don Decker told me years ago that's what they used to call you. And I'm like, I guess that's what I am for the rest of my life now, you know. But yeah, it's I always found that really funny that, you know, they hated each other, but yet, you know, they're just doing the same thing. Probably same type of dudes, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
To one degree or the other. Now I wanted to ask you guys, with the first tune that we played, the Twisted Path, what was that song about?
Pirates.
Well, specifically, yeah. So I mean, the whole album, I guess, there's a whole story going through the album. So that part is basically the captain, after being mutinied by the crew, gets marooned, washes up on an island.
Yeah.
So then he's just kind of wakes up, starts running because he's getting chased through the jungle. So basically, it's just kind of that, running through the jungle.
What was he getting chased by? Spirits?
Just the unknown.
Ah.
Just pure terror.
I was waiting for a beast to come and snatch him up or something when I was watching that. I was like, what's he running from?
Pretty much, yeah.
Himself.
Exactly. It's very meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then at the end, he basically comes into this clearing and sees this giant stone temple where the Golden Heart exists.
Nice. That's awesome.
But yeah.
So I guess I got to back up again because we've alluded to the pirate theme, but I want to know how the pirate theme came to be with the band. Like, how did you guys get together? How did you come up with the name?
Mm-hmm.
And how did the pirate theme come into play?
So it goes back to high school for me with my first band, which was Corsair. So me and my high school buddies, had just our garage band going on. And we, had the name Corsair, and just kind of that logo and everything came from high school. And a couple of songs off our first album were originals from then. But then, let's see, it would have been 2017 that Jared and I started kind of jamming on stuff. And
how did you guys meet?
So
Church.
Yeah, church. So I worked at the church where both Jared and I grew up. So in the youth group, doing worship band stuff. And
you guys played in the worship band together?
So I was doing like tech, so doing audio.
Okay.
So I would be playing like August Burns Red during setup.
And he's like, oh, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
and I did drums in worship band. I was at that point I was doing everything I could do
to just
through
play
school and church. Yeah, just to play as much as I could. I tried to get other people together for a band. Never really worked out.
Right. Young folks, if you're listening to what he just said, practice. He went full on and wanted to play every fucking thing. That's what you got to do. It's a huge thing.
I did drumline and jazz band and percussion ensemble and concert band, all of the things.
You were feeling it.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome,
had a lot
dude.
of fun. I learned a lot of different things stylistically about everything, going from, drum set to marimba and timpani and all of that. And it's definitely like, and now I use all of that in the writing of our music,
right?
And the style of drum set. So it all applies. You can learn from any of it. If you want to do one thing, you can still learn all the other stuff and have it apply to that one thing. Yeah, that you're.
Dude, I watch Drumeo a ton. Yeah. I absolutely love Drumeo. It's one of the coolest things I ever found on YouTube. And the one thing I found right away was the Billy Joel drummer playing Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Liberty, I can't remember his last name, but he was like with Billy Joel forever. I don't know if you've ever seen that documentary, Hired Gun.
I haven't seen
Dude, watch it.
Oh, yeah.
It has the whole story of that Liberty dude, and it talks about how he wrote like all the fucking great Billy Joel tunes, and then they were just about to do something. He was at the dude's wedding, and then he just fired the guy like out of the blue. So he'd been with him like 20 years at this point, or something, maybe longer than that. And then all of a sudden, just gets rid of him, and So I was always like, this dude's fucking badass. And then I see the documentary, then I see him on Drumeo, and I'm like, this old dude's gonna play Rage. Come on! And then he just crushes it, and you're like, whoa, hell yeah, yeah, that's cool, man. That you're. So it started early.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the pirate thing is just kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's a cool thing. But Jared had made a like metal version of the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack.
Okay.
So
why did you say? Oh?
Yeah,
I would literally sit in my geometry class, and so I was ahead of the class, right? So I could just sit in the back doing whatever the fuck I wanted. So what I chose to do was I would sit there with my shitty plastic laptop in the back that I had Guitar Pro 5 on, and I was going through the entire soundtrack of At World's End, the CD release, and making it metalcore. And that's what I did. I worked on this project for years, just because. And so it was like the full thing was like a 45-minute long metalcore Pirates of the Caribbean At World's End soundtrack. I had like cut it up into like, these are the songs, like this is the track.
Holy shit.
It had like 15 or 16 staff lines because I did all the strings and backing percussion. Had like 3 or maybe even 4 guitar tracks, a bass, drum set. And then I learned it all. And I did it again for Dead Man's Chest, and that one was shorter. That one was like 20 minutes, and I learned all of that too. And what I did was I exported the MIDI file from Guitar Pro into Logic and made it all MIDI so that I could play along with it and not have to listen to the shitty MIDI in Guitar Pro. And that took another year or so. And then I just had these projects just sitting on my computer I never did anything with. I was trying to get these guys for years to do the whole thing with me, and they were like, no. And so finally, they had good reason because it was a massive project, right? And we wanted to do our own original stuff as well. And so, I mean, it made sense to not do anything with it. So eventually, I don't remember why I did it, but I cut a bunch of it out that were kind of my favorite parts of it all, and it was like 8 minutes or so, and that became the cover that we put on Spotify. So yeah, sorry.
But yeah, getting back to the origin story. So he has this thing, and I think we shot a video and like did an early version, just like him and me and couple of his friends.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's so bad.
Horrible.
It's so fucking bad. And that snippet was actually from the Dead Man's Chest one.
Yeah, I don't even remember. But yeah, anyway, we had that thing, and then I had from high school, I was like, oh, we had a pirate themed kind of idea of a band, and I'm like, I mean, I still have that. I checked with the guys, and they were like, yeah, cool, because we had parted ways and, life and all that. And so I was like, okay, yeah, we can just take this band name that I have and we'll make something new out of it. And then I roped Wilson into it to, let's see. So we were, going to college, Hennepin Tech, doing audio production. And we had jammed a couple times, just like guitars and stuff.
We bounced song ideas out.
Yeah, did some writing
over a few years.
Yeah, pretty, like, worked on some projects and stuff. Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, you want to come over and practice and bring your bass? Because you have a bass, right?
Yeah, so that was kind of, the bring your bass thing was very last minute. So whatever.
He slid it in there.
The day before, he's like, oh, hey, you want to come over tomorrow and jam with Jared? And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. So I was, like, getting my guitar set up and everything, put new strings on it. And then... like the day of, he's like, oh, yeah, also bring your bass. I was like, oh, okay. So I brought both of them, and then I ended up just playing bass. And that's how I became a bass player.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a common theme for bassists, though. Like, they're into the guitar thing, and they've been doing it. And
as I've kind of grown into this bass role, I've found that I've, like, always loved bass. One of my favorite bands is Mudvayne.
Nice.
And
Ryan Martini, dude.
You probably know why that's one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, I've hung out with him before. He's good shit. Yeah. Cool dude. Super cool dude.
Like, even before I was into bass, it was always like, the bass is killer in this band.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, yeah, it's always kind of been there, but never really in the forefront of my mind because, like, guitar, that's, like, the flashy thing in your face.
You still play guitar?
Yeah.
So you still write material? Now, when it comes to this band, like, who's the primary writer? Or you guys do it all together?
Well,
it's a lot of Jared. He writes stuff, Guitar Pro for the most part.
Yeah, so I don't play guitar.
Yeah.
But I have the music theory background. I learned piano before I did anything else. So I can write it all out in Guitar Pro, and I call that the shell of the song, where it's, it's notes and it's tabs, but it may not be.
It doesn't translate well in the tabs. You got to stretch from fret 1 to fret 17.
You think
in one chord.
Then you got to play fret -2.
Yeah, sometimes you
and
got to play
then
48.
up to 47 sometimes.
You think of like
Just doesn't exist.
The obvious comparison is like you think of guitarists writing parts for drummers.
Yeah.
It's basically that, but it's flip-flopped.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really translate because it's just impossible.
Yeah.
And so that's what I give to these guys, and they take it and they make it their own and make it playable and then better a lot of the time.
Yeah, and then a couple times I'll write a song or have something that I've had a while and throw it to the thing, and then Jared has to learn my stupid things, and usually the songs that I write are the longer ones of our
and I hate it because every time he sends a song, it's better than anything I've written ever. Like The Dark and the Gray is Wilson's, and it actually started as 2 songs and got merged into one.
Now it's one big long 12-minute song.
I fucking love it. It's my favorite song out of any of our songs.
Yeah.
And I hate that it wasn't me that wrote it.
But being the guy that you are, though, from what you've explained, through your scenarios here, you're the guy that will take it and dissect it and actually learn from it. And that would be fucking insane for me, because if he created something and you're like, damn, I should have done that, or how the hell did I not come up with that? You know what I mean? Like when you go back and you look at it and you dissect it into pieces, I could imagine you just going, oh, that's cool. I could do that. And you know what I mean? Like mix and match. That would having that, pull apart mind. That'd be the way to do it. That's pretty damn cool. That's a great dynamic. I actually really love that, because it's not, one specific writer. Everybody has a piece in it in one way or the other. And that's something that I really loved with the last guest that we have, Evernorth. That was something that I really wanted people to understand, that the way they were doing things for me, coming from the old school, is like, yeah, you record things. Yes, you have a fucking, our erase board. You know what I mean? You have those ideas, those moments where you sit and brainstorm together, and it's not like one guy sitting there going, I got this. And they're like,
and then everybody learns it.
Yeah. That's got to be a difficult, you know what I mean? You guys learned your instruments to be creative, you know what I mean? Like, it would be really difficult for me to be like, oh, you got that riff again, Hey, can I play this one? And they don't go together, you know what I mean? Like, I could see where it could be very difficult between musicians at times, Like
a lot of times the bass parts that Jared has in his stuff, I'll just disregard it. I'll figure it out. Unless if it's a very specific like rhythm thing that is key to making the part sound the way it is. But if it's like more of a melodic kind of thing, I'll be like, all right, I can play around with this and add whatever.
Take the basic idea of it and. Yeah.
Now, is there any situations where you create something and one of the guys change it and you're like, this is the way I had it in my head?
Oh yeah, all of the time. That's probably my biggest or the hardest thing for me.
I mean, that's basically what the He's a Pirate song
that
is in this sense. Is very, like, he slaved away on this song for so goddamn long that we wanted to get it just right. I didn't really veer off anything on the bass parts of that, which is probably why I don't really like to try and play it, because it is so unbelievably hard for me to grasp the concept of this song. Because it's so out of...
Well, it's detached. The detach is there.
Yeah, it's detached from how my normal playing style is. Writing style. So maybe we're having a breakthrough here.
Yeah.
It's orchestral in nature, and it's a cover of an orchestra, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's such a cool way to work, though. You know what I mean? I really dig that. And it's always different. That's what I love about the stories from bands. You know what I mean? Because everybody's dynamic is different. Everybody's creative process is different. You know what I mean? Lyrics, like how do you guys come up with lyrics? Is there one person that writes it? Do you write all the lyrics?
Yeah, so I do all the lyrics, and it's been kind of crazy because we've done 3 full albums. So our first album, I guess, getting to the songwriting, that one was actually based. A majority of the songs were from a jam that Jared and I had done, recorded. I was playing keyboard just for fun and he was playing drums.
I transcribed all of it.
Yeah, transcribed all of it, and so Hold Fast, Dissolving Light, Into the Deep, Out of the Void. Yeah, I think those 4 all came from this jam session, like fully skeleton, like all the parts are in the original jam, which we've got that buried somewhere.
See, you don't hear people talk about that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like these jams, things that are really important. And I back when I was doing the shit in the beginning, dude, we had a boombox in the corner, and it sounded horrible all the time. You know what I mean? Where the guys on the other side of this wall, they've got a full setup to where like dude comes to work and he pushes play, and I'm like, "Where'd you guys record this?" He's like, "In the studio." I go, "What? In your rehearsal space?" I'm like, dude, that sounds better than half the demos I've ever created. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous now, the technology. But I think a lot of people overlook that. The getting the feel of, jamming with somebody, eventually, if you're a guy who is creating the structure of it, you know what he's going to do and you know what he's going to do or what they're capable of, you know? So you have that idea in your head, and to be able to, like, put it out there or transcribe it or do whatever and to show it to these guys, and then them take it and add, here's a little pinch of that and a little pinch of this, and now you got something, wicked, Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. I love to hear folks working together in the creative process, because and hearing your guys' stories of how you came to be where you're at right now, dude, the shit lights me up. I absolutely love this. One of the things I love the most about podcasting and talking to people about their journey with music is just getting to those points. Because I remember getting there, like, I know what this dude's going to do. I know what the drummer's going to do. I know what the bass player's capable of. And then if you hear something, you're like, dude, I'm really hearing this here, There's been so many times where you hear a bass player they're just coming in. They're just coming, they're coming in. Or they're like, they hit something and it clicks, and you're like that. I've said it probably the last 10 podcasts on here. You're jamming in a room. Somebody comes in with a couple riffs. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Drummer's doing his thing, kind of following somebody. And you hit a riff, and there it goes. What was that? What was that? Wait, back it up. No. The one before that. And then you're playing it, and you go, loop that for a little bit. And all of a sudden, it starts to gel, and it goes. And then all of a sudden, a jam, you go right into that next one, right into the next one, and all of a sudden the ideas are popping up left and right. I love it. It gets me so charged up. To this day, I just think about it. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. It's the quickening,
Yeah.
It's great. It's amazing. Now, lyrical content. What are you writing about? Is it all about pirate stuff? Is it?
Yeah, so all 3 of the albums so far has been, the first album was kind of more just like monster-based.
Gotcha.
Initially. So we had kind of like Leviathan, a sea monster. We had Ominous Affliction, which was original from high school. That was, werewolf idea. And then like Into the Deep, I had the sound of it was kind of like mountain trolls, kind of cavern beast.
And eagles.
Yes, eagles, giant eagles in there. Yeah. So that's kind of initially where that one started. And then I don't know exactly where it came from, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of seeing a story, which, I mean, I like concept albums, so I was heavily into BT Bam at the time, so getting into their lore, and I mean, like Pink Floyd stuff, and just some of the, like Rush,
right,
all that. So I was like, yeah, what if it was kind of like pirate themed, and there was like this crew experiencing all these different monsters and like running through.
Right.
So it kind of took that idea, and then with Horizons and the Golden Heart, just kind of expanded on that from this pirate crew, and just kind of whatever the music is, speaking to me. And
if you guys were to have a ship, what would your ship be?
Oh, it's already got a name, doesn't it?
Well, the Whispered Fate is the ship's name in this story.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did that come to be?
Yeah, I don't know. I just wrote, the song Whispered Fate on Horizons. A lot of that kind of lyrical stuff, it would start as just like poetry ideas and just kind of like single lines that I would then just extrapolate on and then, siphon down.
Yeah.
And I don't know, at some point I was like, oh, that'd be a cool ship name, the Whispered Fate.
I love hearing that when it comes to writing lyrics, because I just counted today. Now, I haven't written anything like for a band or anything for 5 years now. So I haven't written shit in 5 years. Now, within the last 6 months, I counted today. I have 21 partial songs that are just sitting there. But you know how it goes when when you start with something and you're like, oh, and I talk to bands all the time when they listen to an album. I'm always curious, like, what is it that are you able to listen to your favorite album, transpose it to the things that you're doing now? Okay, so your own music, right? So you're kind of transposing it, not taking it directly, like verbatim, but it gives you a pattern of where, kind of a structure, a little bit of a pattern. Now, vocally for me, I can listen to a song and go, I can pull something out of this. The new Deftones song did it to me today, actually. My daughter said it sounded like something off Around the Fur. A friend of mine said, no, it sounds more like Ohms. And then I'm like, if you compare them both, right, you're not going to get one without the other, because they started here and they grew to here. So you're going to hear all of it in there. So both of you guys are wrong. It's just Deftones, right? But listening to it over and over again on repeat, all of a sudden I hit a lyrical spot, and I was like, oh, I got to open it up. And I wasn't even paying attention to what he was saying anymore. I was just like feeling it and going. Yeah. And I got, a couple paragraphs in there. Nice. And it that's when I was like, I got to count and see how many of these I have, because it's so crazy, because like I couldn't, it's very difficult to keep, on story, without it being, you say you like to write the longer songs, for me, they would have to be, fucking Dead Man's Chest length. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this song going for 2.5 hours already? You know what I mean? Like, that's what would happen, Yeah. I tried to read some Clive Barker short stories, and I grabbed a few. I have a few songs that are loosely written about a couple of his short stories, and it was so hard for me to get metaphors out of the story and kind of put them together. It was. And I'm not a poet. I'm not a guy that was really into English or writing or any of that shit. Like, some reason I just did it, and you know what I mean? Like, I look back at, I've done 7 albums in my time, and I was just like, look back at some of that shit and go, where the fuck did I come up with that? You know what I mean? Like, it's tough, man. Like, I couldn't imagine playing the stuff that you guys play, because it's pretty damn technical, when it comes to that shit. Do you guys look back and go, damn, how did we get there? Or you just point at him and go, oh, that's why it's so technical. I get it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I look back at Chaos and I'm like, why did we do this? And then I look at Horizons and I'm like, how did we get to there from Chaos? And then Golden Heart is even better. So I don't know.
So you can you can feel the progression as you're going in your writing when you look back. Yeah. I love that. That's really cool.
In every sense, from the performance and how tight we are to the writing and how fleshed out it all is, to the production and just how it all sounds. Yeah. It just kind of is up several tiers from each album. Where you have
each
Chaos.
One is a step up in some sense of just figuring out, like, working out kinks in both, like, in songwriting and production and just, like, overall playing and everything. Like, in some sense, it feels like some of our newer stuff has gotten, like, a little bit less complicated or maybe less chaotic in its structure. Like, going back, because we recently just did, like, a remix, and a couple songs were re-recorded of our first album stuff, and, like, going through as I was mixing and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, how did we come up with this? Like, one song just has the most just outrageous, nonsensical, like, tempo and meter changes that don't make any sense, and it was one of the ones that was transcribed from that keyboard jam, and just
Into
like
the Deep, probably.
Yeah, that one, and it just none of it makes any sense. But
we're never playing that song again live.
We learned them and played it. Like, we did that garage live studio, like, full album playthrough of that. Like, we've played through that album many times. Live.
Yeah, like, early when we started playing live, like, that was I mean, all the material we had, 45 minutes.
Yeah, so if we get
play a 45-minute set, okay, we're playing our album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. You know, that's
It's like looking back now, I don't know if I could play most of it. Well, I probably could, but it would just take like a minute to relearn all the like ones that we don't visit anymore just because they're so weird and nonsensical, especially to what we write now.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably adds to the mystique of the band, though. Too, you know what I mean? There's gonna be things as you
Yeah, like
progress that are. It's gonna get.
you can't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
to play or how to play every single song of your catalog as you start adding more
Right.
to it. Like
Right.
you gotta let some go.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Or you just don't. I mean, there's a couple off of a couple different albums that I had done that we just never played. They're just what the vibe. I don't know how you guys put your sets together when you go play out, but I was always about the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, how does it run? Let's go this song first. Let's go, and then this is the one everybody goes crazy when we end. Or you have come out strong. Let it lapse a little bit and then finish strong. You know what I'm saying? Not really lapse, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We have our staples that we seem to play most every set.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times we'll just like, you want to play this song we haven't played in like 2 or 3 years? Sure.
Do you want to open with that song?
So do you guys? You don't ever? Do you like just on the fly on stage?
We'll do
never.
not on stage.
Okay.
No, but like
I'm pretty sure I would have an aneurysm if we didn't plan our set list before the day of.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and the like lighting programming and stuff, like because we're playing to tracks, so we have it all pretty well
Gotcha.
synced out in like our light show. And
But yeah,
everything.
we got for our practice just all of our songs lined up in a Reaper session. So it's like, let's run through this one and see where we're at. Like if it's a song we haven't played in months or like over a year or something, and we struggle through, and we're like, all right, well, we'll throw it in the set. We just gotta run through it a couple times and do some individual practice.
Nice.
Like, but we'll get there. Yeah.
That's cool, man. So how is your setup in the studio in a rehearsal space? Do you guys record everything that you guys do, or how does that work?
Yeah, we are all pretty much self-contained when it comes to recording. So right now it's a little bit different because we practice out of Craig's basement
Gotcha.
in his old house. Now we're practicing in Craig's basement in his new house.
Yeah, which I just moved end of May, so we're kind of shuffling things around, getting reset up, and
Gotcha.
kind of all
But-
that in new space.
But in the last couple of years, we've kind of figured out a good just method of recording and production. So we have all the mics and stuff to just record Jared in our
Sick.
practice space,
Mhm.
get like a good sounding drum, like
Right.
the He's a Pirate song and Twisted Path. That's all just recording Craig's basement as his
Awesome.
last house.
The
And-
entire Golden Heart
Yeah.
was recorded in Craig's basement.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so drums are recorded there before. Horizon's the album before. We went to Winterland to
Okay.
record that.
Terrarium.
Yeah, sorry,
Terrarium.
Terrarium, not
Yeah.
Winterland. Sorry. But yeah, that was like a long 10-hour day. That was right.
Oh yeah, we did all the drums in one day for that
Yeah.
album.
Oh,
An
shit.
hour-long album we did in one day. We did.
10-hour session. The first 4 hours were just getting tones and setting up. And I had been practicing every day for months and months leading up to this because I was like, this is recording. I have to be perfect. And we're doing it all in one day.
Yeah.
And so first 4 hours set up tones, and then we took a break for lunch. The rest of it, we did 2 takes of each song.
Yeah,
Mhm.
2 or 3 takes of each song,
And
and then I comped the rest later.
Yeah, and I
Or-
think we did 2 takes of each song, and then we did 1 more take of In the Shadows because I had a different snare drum I wanted to do
Yeah.
with it.
Compared to how we did the Golden Heart, which was at Craig's house.
Yeah.
We recorded a song, maybe half a song per day, like depending on what's available or when he's available,
And
over the course of like a month.
But that
We had the mic set up
your
the whole time.
you never
Yeah.
had to move any of that
Yeah.
stuff, right?
We just show up,
yeah.
it was
and
so
we-
much easier.
I bet.
and we were
So much
recorded
probably
piece
calm
by
too,
piece.
man. Holy shit, that's got to be calm,
'Cause-
way calmer
And the
than.
thing too is like for Golden Heart, we pieced it out, right?
Yeah.
I would play like a bar or 2 or a phrase or whatever, and then stop, and then do the next bar or phrase.
to
and
really
stop.
focus on the actual
Right.
parts rather than
Yeah.
one long
Yeah, yeah.
take.
Yeah,
Full take.
Get another
every
full
song,
take.
Yeah.
So like
where
by the end of the song, you can tell his kick hits are getting a little weaker just because
Vengeance.
it's the end of the
yeah,
song,
the end
yeah.
of Vengeance. The blast beat is like it's like a minute and a half of just one-handed blast beat.
Yeah.
And you could tell in the recording that my hand was getting tired, like just the velocity, you could see it kind of tapering off as it went on.
God, we haven't played that one live in a long time.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Well, we can do that one, but not next week.
Not next week.
You showed the chink in your armor right there, dude. He smelt it out. He was like, "Ooh, blood! Let's play that again."
I mean, I don't have. There are some songs that I definitely have issues like with playing live, and I'm very much like, I don't want to play this song live. Vengeance is not one of those.
You just don't want to play it late in the set, right? Or
no, actually,
is that a different
it's harder
song
to do it earlier.
Because
it's
you're
not
like
as
warmed
warm
up.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess probably even we haven't played Vengeance in a while, but over the past year and a half, I've kind of got together a warm-up routine. I started bringing practice pads to shows. So I make it a point, like the band before us, all like go to the green room or back area or whatever, stretch, sit down on the pads and warm up for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that makes a world of
I bet it does,
difference.
man.
Yeah.
I bet it does.
So stuff like Vengeance is actually easier later on in the set because it's like I'm warmed up. If my practice sessions are, as long as our set or longer, it's like this is just normal anyways.
Yeah. Muscle memory, everything's ready to rip. You got the stamina to do it.
But like, Into the Deep or The Dark and the Gray was one of those songs that would have been, I don't want to play this live, but I have a pretty good handle on that one now. Let's see. Into the Deep, that one's
we don't need to ever play that one.
That's fine.
I mean, maybe we'll pull it out
in like 20 years.
Yeah.
So one of those, huh?
Yeah.
But so drums and then everything else basically just comes back to my house.
Yeah.
We record guitars at my house at my little bedroom studio, and then I record bass on my own. Vocals we just started with the Golden Heart to do with me, like, and Craig kind of working together, and I think that turned out a lot better.
Oh yeah.
Because
first two albums I think I just did it at my house.
Yeah.
Just on my own, kind of recording and putting it together.
Well, in drums for Chaos, we didn't even have Wilson with us.
First album, that was just me recording his drums in his bedroom.
I just recorded my bass parts and mixed it horribly at that, but
So
what a great album.
Did we record the drums for that before he joined, or was that after?
I think so, because that was kind of like,
it was like in that time frame.
Yeah, because I think once I joined, you guys were like, "Oh yeah, we're recording these songs next week." So I was like, "Oh God, I got to learn these songs quick."
That's crazy, dude. What
overly complicated, nonsensical songs.
I'm not sorry.
It turned out great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always good. Good that you can look back and say that it did turn out great. That's fantastic, man. Let me see here. So we got another tune. We've got The Drop, I think, is the second one, correct?
I think so.
All right. How did that one come
Or if you want to play He's a Pirate.
Either one. Whichever one you want.
I mean, we've been talking more about He's a Pirate, so maybe it's longer. Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about The Drop after, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about He's a Pirate. This one's came up pretty early, right? This is a...
Well, yeah. So this is the Pirates of the Caribbean like cover
Gotcha.
kind of thing. So just this past... Yeah, when did we actually decide to...
It was released in March, I believe.
So like throughout last year.
Yeah, throughout last year we were like, yeah, we should do this because we were re-recording the Chaos stuff. And I was like, yeah, we're on the pirate thing, like really heavy. Let's finally get around to doing the Pirates of the Caribbean cover. So
nice.
I was so happy.
Yeah.
I bet you were, man. Holy smokes. It sounds like you worked on that shit real hard for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were like, no, we don't want to play with that.
Craig was into it. It's me that was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah. It's got to be kind of, translating that, like doing something different with it. I'm sure that's not the easiest task to be able to switch it over. And if you didn't work on the project, you're kind of like, And
the real like taxing thing was like, and incredible is Craig learning there's like 4 different guitar parts that are going on at like any given time.
Right.
And Craig learned all of those different parts.
Damn.
Like, and recorded them, got doubles for all this stuff. Like, and
When I wrote
just
it,
nailed it.
I was envisioning a 3 guitar player lineup. So
Naturally.
yeah.
Jesus, orchestral maneuvers in the dark over here, dude.
Yeah.
He's got it fucking
Pretty
ready
much.
to go,
like,
yeah.
That was actually recording that the first time we actually had Jared in the room recording guitar, which I think was very helpful. Just to have like one to help translate what he's going for, like guitar wise.
Yeah.
But also just like recording in general, having that like third set of ears just to like, oh yeah, what if we tried this or that? Like,
And it was super fun for me because I did or I tried to get a degree in music production, and it was not what I thought it was. And that experience was very much like what I was kind of thinking music production was going to be, where it's like you go in and you basically advise on how and what they're playing. And yeah, it was just really fun all around. In addition to that, it was a project that I had been so passionate about and so invested in for so long.
Right. Dude, to see it come to life, I'm sure it was really exciting.
Yeah, there were definitely tingles.
Hopefully not in your nether regions or anything, you know. Got to have that looked at, you know what I'm saying? Well, let's take a listen. We'll listen to He's a Pirate, and we'll be back, folks. Stick around. All the arms are raised in the room.
Did you say release the seagulls?
Yes, release the seagulls.
Mine. That's fantastic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, how did you do that? Had to have taken you forever, dude.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of
Jesus.
like on my iPod Touch, like scrubbing back and forth to try to get that one violin part and get that one note in whatever run they're doing, and
Jesus.
like
45 minutes, the original.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wicked, man. Good job, fellas. Good job.
It's a fun
Sounded awesome. Very cool. I like the logo. I like the story behind the logo. How you went back and forth trying to get the proper look to it between the guys. That's pretty damn cool. I like that too. Working together on the whole deal. We had one of the most awesome chat drop-ins out of nowhere for warm-ups. I usually just go to the handicap stall and bang one out. It's usually not a problem as long as I can get the belt off my neck fast enough. I love you. Thank you for doing that. That was fantastic. That added so much to the show right there. I have to say.
I actually used to do something similar before I brought the practice pads in.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that to yourself with the sticks?
It was becoming a problem.
They sat me down and had a really good talk with me.
Dude, wash that thing.
There was an intervention.
Yeah, right.
It actually, they were super efficient about it because it was the same conversation where they told me we weren't going to do the whole 45 minutes.
Very streamlined.
Yes.
All right, we got a couple things we got to talk about.
If we're planning on doing this as a team here,
We run a tight ship.
yeah, that's awesome. So I wanted to ask you guys, as a three-piece, like, have you added or deleted players from the band? Like, did you start out with 2 guitar players, or did you just go with one? And
I mean, aside from originally deleting my whole first band.
so there was quite a few at the time. So was it a
Not really.
3-piece at the time, or when?
Oh, in high school, I mean, it was, 4-piece, 2 guitars. At one point, we had 3. At one point, we had a vocalist. It was kind of, just a little roundabout of trying different things in high school with a new band and, trying to have fun with it. But I guess the 3 of us have, I don't know, just stuck.
Just been us.
Just been us for the last 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it really been 7 years?
Since like 2018.
That's awesome.
Christ.
I know. That's
That's
a
cool.
long time.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Time flies, man, when you're doing cool shit,
Yeah.
making cool shit, and being cool with each other. You know what I mean? That's just poof, it's gone all of a sudden. You know. So how many shows a year do you guys think you play?
Not enough.
Not enough.
This year, definitely not enough.
Yeah,
But,
this
I
year
mean,
we've done like,
We're busy. Personal lives.
I don't even know. Yeah, I mean anywhere from like, I don't know, 5 to 10-ish a year is kind of average.
I think so.
Try to at least get a handful kind of in each season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know you guys were talking about going out of town, Madison and Milwaukee. Are there other spots you guys like to frequent? Are there other states that you guys like to try to make once a year or anything like that? Do you?
I mean, right now we've just kind of been like slowly growing that, just like first visiting some of these cities. So we first played like Duluth and Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
Last
was that?
October.
Yeah, last fall.
Nice.
So just kind of starting to spread out a little bit more. We're going back to Fargo next Friday, as well as playing in Minneapolis.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
and I'll actually pull that up too, because you do have 2 shows coming up.
Yes, we do.
That one on the 18th is at the Aquarium. That is a 21+ show. 15 in advance, 17 at the door. Let me see here. Doors looks like 7:30.
Sounds about right.
Switch Off the Safety is the main band. Yes.
I think so. Yeah, from Montana.
Yeah, and then you've got Shotgun Facelift. Have you played with any of these other bands? I see the Lapse of Fate is a band you got. They're coming to your guys'. They're playing with you the following.
Yeah, we're doing a little
night,
show
19th
swap
year.
with them. I think we were just looking. I can't remember. Did they just reach out to us?
Yeah, I think they reached out to us about doing the underground, and we're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, well, yeah, do you want to set up a show in Fargo too? Because you're there, and do kind of a show swap thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I haven't played with them yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Or any of the other bands
No,
yet.
I think
so-
Lapse of Fate is a relatively new band.
Oh, gotcha.
Mhm.
I could be wrong, but
How'd you
what I
guys end up
understand.
hooking up with them?
I think they
Instagram.
just messaged us
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And that's so they're familiar with your work, or you're familiar with theirs, or how'd that work?
I have no idea,
They
honestly.
just reached out to us.
Yeah, maybe they were referred to by another band if they were trying to, or they've seen us or heard of us before.
Or didn't maybe they did see us when we were in Fargo last fall?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That could have been it,
Maybe.
And they wanted to play with you cats.
potentially.
That's always
Which is weird because we were playing like a folk,
Yeah,
Festival thing?
folk punk festival.
so we were very much the oddball on that Fargo show.
It was
Yeah.
one of the most fun shows we've ever
Oh, it was a
played.
blast.
It
Yeah.
was crazy because we had played, we opened for Twilight Force and
Glory Hammer?
Glory Hammer at the Lyric, and the guy who puts together Bindlefest saw us there, and so he reached out and he was like, "Hey, you want to play this festival I throw in Fargo?" And we were like, "Sure." And he was like, "Sweet, it's a folk punk festival," and we're like, "Cool."
All right. We'll be there.
So
Yep.
when you say folk, what do you mean by that exactly? You know what I mean?
Like, think
There
like
were
Band of
horns and-
Horses and
yeah.
like that, like banjo, like
Yeah.
bluegrass almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Folk
then you
punk.
guys came out and
Yeah.
punched everybody in the face.
Mhm.
Yeah, brought the,
Nice.
brought
Yeah,
the
we had the cannons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got cannons too?
Oh, yeah.
They're in disrepair right now.
Yeah.
But
Out of commission.
they've
They shoot fog and have lights in them.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
You're just revamping them or what? Just
well, yeah, they've been damaged in battle, so
Nice.
they're in need of repair.
That's awesome, dude.
But-
That's cool that you guys use that. That's
Oh, yeah.
a very cool prop that you don't see many motherfuckers using some cool shit like that. You know,
Mhm.
I just had Greg Moog on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and when Black Flood Diesel was doing their kind of the height of their thing, you know, they came out with these double stacked plastic barrels that they had spray painted BFD on, you know, and then they had like lights inside of them and like smoke billowing out of them, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
that's cool.
It just
Yeah.
looked industrial and nasty,
Yeah.
you know, and they had a good look, you know. So I like that. That's cool. Have you guys ever seen Uncle Daddy? You guys seen those?
Oh yeah,
That have you seen the front end that he puts on stage with them? It's got like a Firebird front end, and it's
I don't
got
think
lights
we've-
I don't
attached
think
to
I've
it, and the
seen that.
lights come.
well yeah,
on.
we did play that show with at the Doghouse. I don't think they had that
No.
at that one.
I seen it at the Caboose
Yeah.
one time, but
Okay.
they were. It's like the full, you know, the pointed nose of a Firebird.
Yeah.
You know, back a little ways, that front fascia, and then it's got lights and shit spinning off of it, and it's really cool.
That's
But
pretty sick.
just to see something like that, but cannons with the pirate theme, that's even cooler, man. Did you just say R? Our CD release party was great.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
CD release show that we did last year. Was that last year? Yeah. That we kind of went all out with like the whole set decoration. Like Craig built all of the set pieces, which
Mhm.
were like 2 masts.
Yeah.
He got like some rope netting and stuff to sprinkle on stage.
Some really heavy barrels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some old like wine or whiskey barrels or whatever they were.
Yeah.
He even built a fucking plank to extend off
The stage.
stage.
Yeah.
hmm
Did you have people walk that bad boy or what?
I did.
Nice.
The
Yeah, I stood up
venue-
there and did a little solo, and
Yeah.
The venue almost shut it down. Like as soon as they saw it,
They're like, no, you're not doing this.
we told them that it would only be him on it, and they were like, "Okay, but we're not liable for any injury." That
Will you sign this waiver?
I
all
took
we need.
full responsibility for it.
What club was it at? Was that Skyway?
Amsterdam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's not too high off the ground. It's not like
No,
you would. You
was
might
fine.
twist the ankle.
Yeah.
You know, slip on a beer bottle and crack your head or something. But wow,
Well, I
that's
think, yeah, in that show we did shatter some glass
Oh yeah.
just from the sound vibrations.
Yeah.
Breaking shit.
that's
my
hilarious.
mom had left it on a counter in the back, and it vibrated.
Wait, that was your mom's?
It was my mom's. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't
That's
know
awesome.
that.
That's even cooler, actually. Somebody says, serious question. I was in a band with no singer or lyrics, and I found writing was a bit different considering you have to create suspense and excitement and sorrow. How do you guys go about getting ideas, or where do you draw inspiration from?
For lyrics and vocals, or is he saying?
Just music.
I think it's for the music. So for that, it's it's whatever I'm feeling. I write what I'm feeling. If I'm pissed off, I write a fucking like heavy deathcore, chuggy, whatever, because you know it's aggressive. If I'm like, you know, more philosophical or kind of like sad or whatever, I try to write like a more atmospheric, like airy thing, because that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And it just comes easier that way. Sometimes I try to sit down and I'm like, I want to write an angry song, but I'm not like angry, and it just doesn't come together as well. And a lot of times, like I'll have like emotional phases that I go through.
Yeah.
And so I'll have things.
It's called your period.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just poking now. I'm sorry.
So I have things that kind of get stuck in my head and it bounces around for a while, and then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I have to get this out.
So you're just looking for the right mood to implement it or something, right?
Yeah, the right mood and timing and just like knowing how to capitalize on that is like the real skill there with writing, I've found.
Yeah. But to know that about yourself even cooler too, you know what I mean? Like, because that's a, you know, a puzzle to get to begin with, you know what I mean? You've got to have multiple me, it's like, okay, I'm focused on this one thing, but if I have multiple things going at one time, you know? So I'm the same way. If I feel like, oh, I could do this today, you know?
Yeah, well, and it bleeds over too, where it's like, if I have a Guitar Pro session of a song that I started angry, and I kind of let it sit for a bit, and then I'll get into a different emotional state where it's like, I get into that like atmospheric mode. I'll come back to the angry one and put like an atmospheric layer over it. And then it's kind of this cool blend.
Transition.
Yeah. So like the drop is kind of a good example of that, where you have, it's like super heavy all the way through. And then you have the end that's like this atmospheric underwater bell thing. It was very much a transition of that style.
Badass.
Two different moods coming together.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question, sir, that asked the question in the chat. I really appreciate your interactions in there as well. It's always cool to have those extra questions and people chiming in. It's hit or miss with the chat too, because like you'll have a bunch of people that'll come in and they'll be just mucking it up between each other, and then I'll look over and the whole thing's full, and scrolling back up trying to get you know, the answers that they're looking for that we've already passed. You know what I'm saying? We're already 4 other questions in advance.
We answered that in an hour.
Yeah. But we got to go back to it. It's kind of one of those deals. Let me see here. I like to do some of these kind of basic questions as well. What are some of your favorite memories of performances? Are there any things that stick out from past performances that you're like, that was fucking badass, or that was horrible, or that was like, it turned out like it started horrible but ended really cool? Is there anything that you can think of off the top of your head of shows maybe out of town? I know you said something about Milwaukee had a little roughness to it at times.
Oh yeah, we've had a couple just bum shows in Milwaukee that, I don't know, it was just a clusterfuck all around. And
both times.
Yeah. Both times, yeah. The first time was probably our like 3rd show ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one of the.
Something like
I
that.
still had my red drum set.
Yeah, and it was this like benefit for
Planned Parenthood.
It wasn't quite Planned, but maybe it was donating to Planned Parenthood. It was like some women's health benefit thing. I don't know. It was strange.
Did they have a lot of loose women there or anything like that?
No,
I'm pretty sure it was all dudes.
It was all dudes. But yeah, it was this like, it was this newly open venue that I don't think is even open anymore. And I don't think the AC was working, and it was
Hotter
the middle
shit,
of July, and it was hotter than shit.
Mm-hmm.
Jared was setting up his drum set like upstairs in the attic area of this
Jesus.
place. They had like the main stage going on, and then there was like a door that went to the bar area that had like a smaller stage going on. Like I remember passing by there a couple times, and there was a guy in like a ghillie suit with a table full of like guitar pedals and just making noises, like just a noise artist. But he was just like this dude in a ghillie suit, just like
for like an hour.
Yeah, for like an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, it's hard to follow that.
Because we got there, and the guy, the promoter, or whoever put it together, like said hi and stuff, and he was like, yeah, so like half the band's dropped off today and yesterday, so you guys can just play as long as you want.
You got an hour. All right, well, we have 45 minutes.
Yeah,
because that's all we have. This is our third show, so we only had our first album to go off of.
Right.
But yeah, even setting up to play was not a good sign because at that time I had just a DI rig for my bass. I didn't have a cab or anything, or I didn't bring it with or whatever, didn't want to travel with it. So yeah, I just had my bass and my pedal board, had a DI out, and I gave it to a sound guy. He couldn't figure out how to bring it into the monitors. So I played that whole set deaf.
Wow.
Like I was playing towards the front of the stage so I can at least hear myself through the PA.
Wow. That would have been a shit scenario.
This was after the band right before us played for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours.
It was a full like 2 hours.
It was a full 2 hours.
And then it was like what, like 1 in the morning that we actually went on or something.
Yeah, it was
brutal.
super late.
There was like a decent like crowd for us there was like 40-ish people when we got there, and when that band started playing, and they get up there and they're like, we're gonna play every fucking song we ever wrote for you tonight, and I was like, oh my god. So it whittled down to like 5 or 6 people by the time we finally got up there.
Yeah.
And I remember during sound check, the sound guy asked Craig if he wanted any reverb on his vocals, and Craig was like, yeah, just a touch. And while we were playing, I kept hearing this like roaring sound, and to me it sounded like a crowd, like of like yelling approval or something. And I was like, this isn't right. There's nobody here. And eventually I realized it was the reverb on his vocals. The sound guy had like put so much reverb on his vocals. I'm sure you couldn't like articulate anything out of that.
You just want to run over to that soundboard and poke him in the eye one time. Just fucking pencil to the ear.
Yeah. But good shows. That one at Skyway that we played opening for Glory Hammer and Twilight Force was awesome.
Like 400 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just packed.
Yeah, in the lyric room.
Big stage.
Yeah. That was spectacular.
And for me too, one of the best ones we did was at Zemergy Brewing in Menominee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a great show.
That one was kind of important for me because I was very demotivated at that point in time and just didn't have the energy for anything. We had played several shows that just didn't go very well. So to me, it was just like, oh, we're driving an hour and a half to play another show to an empty room. And so we get there, and the guy's super nice, and the space is pretty cool.
John or
yeah, I think it was
Dustin.
Yeah, John was there. I think Dustin was kind of in and out, but I mean, both those guys are great.
Super cool guys. Super nice guys, man.
Yeah, is pretty.
I've heard they take really good care of people over there too. They like, get.
Yeah, they seem to promote their shows really well, or they like got a system going on there because we went there. I don't think we ourselves promoted it very much, other than like posting the poster a couple times.
Right.
But we get there and there's like people showing up in pirate costumes.
Nice.
And I'm like, what the hell have they been telling these people?
They opened the door and some people came in, and I was like, okay, I guess this is like the turnout. And then people continued coming in and kept coming in the entire night.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, and it seemed like everybody's having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
that's what John was saying when they were on the podcast. Both Dustin and John were on here about a month and a half ago, I think. And that's what they were talking about, having a good foundation for their place, and they only do so many shows a year, apparently. They're upping the number now, is what they were saying. Like they're picking up tours and doing stuff at the Mabel and things like that, is what they were saying. So that's really cool. I love to hear when people get into this game and they take care of people. That's the best,
Like we went into that show not expecting a lot, maybe expecting something like that Milwaukee show.
Yeah.
And we were blown away with like what those guys as like the promoters and everything did to bring everybody in.
Yeah.
Like it was incredible. Like it could also be just like smaller town, like they don't get as many metal shows. So the metalheads come out to the metal shows.
Well, dude, they used to have a place called Mr. Heavy's, and it was like the downstairs of this bar back in the day, and it's right on Stout, right off of Stout campus. Yeah. So they had a dance club upstairs and then a metal bar downstairs, and it was always packed, dude. Every time I went to Heavy's, it was just a blast. Everybody's drinking and being crazy, and it was always a good time. So I'm sure they're starving for it over there
Right.
too. You know what I mean? Like to have, you know, a spot to have metal in a little town like that, and everybody fucking knows everybody. You know what I mean? But the art, now I found this in Eau Claire too. Is like their art scene in Eau Claire is absolutely amazing. But they're very thin on venues in Eau Claire, which really sucks because that is a really fun place to play too. I know there were some clubs back in the day that you could, you know, book shows in Eau Claire.
Yeah.
La Crosse is like that too. La Crosse is a great party town, super fun. Hard to get into spots there though because they don't really have a lot.
Is the warehouse still open?
I believe so. I could have swore I thought I heard something about that place closing at one point.
I
But
thought I heard that too.
I watched a chick fall down those stairs. Dude rode her boyfriend's guitar case all the way down, dude, and wiped out on the bottom. There was shoes flying, dude. She hit the bottom landing, dude, and just and we're all just going no, like staggered, you know, all drunk, and had her boyfriend's guitar and landed on the guitar, flying everywhere, shoes flying. It was great. I loved watching it.
I played a show there with my other band, Common Choir.
Yeah.
And we played with a band called Goodyear, and they had their like amps and cabs kind of set up in those like amp road cases, those huge ones. And I watched those guys like carry. They didn't drop it, but I watched those guys carry those up like 2 flights of stairs to get to the venue.
For anybody who hasn't been to that venue, man, it is a great venue, but those stairs to get there is like, I can't even describe it. It's like you would think the Rockies thing where the dude's running up the stairs. You get to the top, and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I made it up here, dude, you know? But it's such a cool venue upstairs. It's just, you know, it's a cool place, man. It's just that them stairs are hell.
Yeah.
Straight up hell. And it's like no booze, right? It's like an all-age venue, no booze.
Yeah, it's an all-ages venue.
It's been years since I played that place, but cool venue. Let me see here. Now, when it comes to the pirate stuff, do you guys gear up when you play live? Do you guys do do you wear anything cool?
Not regularly. We have done that a couple times. Did like a Halloween show at Barfly this past year.
Yeah.
And did the full pirate jacket, hat, and all. So I've got a full pirate thing, but I don't wear it every show.
Yeah.
My stage outfits have been kind of turning into just, my wife loves Disneyland. Yeah. So we go there probably a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Every time I go through the Pirates of the Caribbean gift shop, I'm looking to see if I'd find a cool shirt. So I've found a couple cool shirts that have now just become my stage shirts. Yeah. Like one has a bunch of like pirate stuff on it, but it's like this Henley shirt that looks like it's very stained. Yeah. And it looks like a pirate shirt, but it's like kind of a graphic shirt. It's cool. Like,
it's rad.
I don't know, but I just think I'll start collecting those and have those be my stage shirts.
Fuck, why not, man? Yeah. Keep it cool, you know? Casual and still theme it, you know? Yeah. Got the theme. Yeah.
Having like subtle nods to the nautical theme is always good, but yeah, not always going overboard.
Right.
I just caught that. It took a second there.
That was
a grenade, dude. That was a grenade. You just dropped it in there, and all of a sudden, I looked this way and went, oh. I caught that one on my face, man. Holy shit! Damn you! That was a good one, though. Hey, do you guys have any pre-show rituals? Are there any things that you guys do to get? I mean, you said you like to go one band before you get your
I stretch
thing,
and I warm up on my pads.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. Jimmy John's. Yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah, that's
like our pre-show food.
Yeah.
Fairly light, not a heavy deal.
Kinda, yeah.
It will only take
tasty,
you.
Yeah.
And it only takes you so long to digest that shit. You're not just going. Oh
yeah,
my
like
God, should eat
2
that
hours
steak
before the set, like sitting pretty good.
Yeah.
We did Wendy's before a show once, and that was probably the worst pre-show.
Wasn't that same Milwaukee show?
No, that was a show here. That was a show because it was downtown Minneapolis Wendy's, like the worst one.
Dude, it spent 30 minutes. What the hell's going on? Is this? Did I order a pizza? No, it's a cheeseburger.
We've also done Taco Bell before a show, and I don't think that was as bad as the Wendy's.
I'd have been right cheek sneaking that shit. Just fucking letting her rip.
I have done that a couple times.
The drummer from Deterioration says he has a thing with White Castle that makes him get sick. So he'll eat
I'm
White
pretty
Castle
sure
and he'll
everyone
be
has
like,
that thing with White Castle.
you know, he'll purposely
Love White Castle.
My wife.
I
loves
grew up
White
on White Castle.
I-
Me
I
too.
just don't
great.
get it.
It's the best.
You don't care for it at all, huh?
No,
You don't like soggy burgers, dude? What's wrong with
no.
you? Soggy onions, dude?
I
Come
like
on, man.
Juicy burgers that don't make me shit my insides out.
Nonsense.
And that taste good. The
He's
White
like,
Castle
you
burgers
can just
are
see he's going crave case right now, dude.
dude.
Crave case.
Oh yeah.
I could. Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Mess up a crave case right quick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That'll do it, man.
I guess another pre-show thing I usually do is have a banana.
Yeah.
gotta
I find it.
keep that scurvy away.
Yes, it fights the scurvy,
Yeah.
and just like vocally, it's kind of a good thing. I was doing that during recording too.
Get the nice coating to it.
Yeah.
And that seems to last a little while, the banana coating. I never really was talking to a death metal vocalist just the other weekend on 4th of July. And we were talking about, he said milk, that he likes to drink milk, and I can't, it's too much. And he goes, I love it, because you're just, you know what I mean? You get the gurgle, you know, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He's a cookie monster, you know what I mean? You know?
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, how could you, you know, I always tried to enunciate, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to gurgle that much, you know? Like, the only thing that as far as pre-show would be like teas for vocals, like just a coat, and then salt. So I would take like seeds and just suck on the seeds a little bit, spit them out before I went on. So it gives the grip to the when you're
Interesting.
crisping, you know?
Yeah.
But the tea always loosens everything in your throat and your ears and everything like that. So that's always something that I did. I loved it like that. Anything else you guys have for pre-show rituals? You guys like high five or swing? Do you guys trade pouches of fool's gold or anything like that? Like,
No.
you got to start doing that shit.
If I'm nervous, I'll drink a PBR.
There you go.
And that kind of helps me loosen up. But it's pretty rare nowadays.
If I'm tired, I'll drink a Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any like
Group ritual.
group
Yeah.
rituals.
No high fives or nothing. Like
I think we did that our first show.
And then we were like,
Yeah,
that was stupid.
It didn't feel right.
something like that.
I don't even remember that. I remember our first show, but I don't remember doing the.
I think we probably just did like an old fist.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sort of
Probably
thing.
in the electric arcade. Because that was at Can.
Can.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was just there every time. I've been there a couple times since, a couple times in like the last year, and every time we go, I always look at that sea themed karaoke stage.
The kids karaoke stage.
Yeah,
We should do another show there.
I've heard it's fun.
Yeah.
It
Somebody
is.
told
it's
me
a
this is super
blast,
fun,
yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about reaching out and trying to get something on the bigger stage that they have there.
We should do the small stage.
They're
Yeah.
kind of
That'd be a lot of fun.
they're fairly new to the game though, right? They haven't been doing too much stuff there for too long, right?
Yeah,
Or have they been? I've never been there for a show.
Well, yeah, because we played back. That would have been like 2019
May
or
of
something.
2019. I think.
Right
Yeah.
after we
Okay, so
released
they've been
AL.
doing a while. It's not like
Yeah.
it's
But I don't think they do like very frequent
Gotcha.
shows.
gotcha.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to know because they were doing more regularly pre-pandemic, and then
Yeah.
I don't think anything through
And
that. And
it could have also been.
I think
Eric-
they've started up some.
Yeah, it could have also been Eric from Ithamid. I think he was like doing sound there and stuff. So he
Oh.
was probably like, because we play with Ithamid
Yeah.
both times, and I'm sure he was probably just setting up bills for Ithamid to play, and we hopped on him.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Usually, what happens? You
Right.
get one guy that gets it
That
in
hasn't
there,
been-
Mhm.
and then they're like, okay, that's the guy you want to hook up
Then
with.
you just open up the door and all the metalheads just come running in.
Well,
Oh God.
You know what kind of sucks though is that a lot of times people will and I did that with Skyway too. Like I didn't give up my Connect ever. I never told, like you even said like, dude, I can get shows here. We talked multiple times about booking shows and like, hey, if you can't do it through me or through them, I can probably help you out. You said that to me, and I'm like, don't say that too loud. That's how I felt. You know what I mean? Because I fucking hate that. Here's the thing: is like when I was booking at Lee's, I was asked by the manager to book some metal shows there, And I'm like, dude, we can make this into something really, really cool. And that's what I wanted to do with Skyway. That's why I got in there to do that.
Oh yeah.
But they never want to, like James, the guy who was going through, right? He's going, give my number to everybody. And I'm going, fuck that. Somebody who's going to come in here and ruin this. That's what happens, is that people come in there and then they treat bands like shit. They don't pay them properly. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't take care of people. And that is what I wanted to avoid. Now, when I was doing the Skyway thing, it was like, I started opening up to all ages, and I started doing more all ages. Then I was like, fuck it, I'm doing all ages as long as they let me go as late as I possibly can. And they were cool with it. They didn't give a shit. And that was the thing. It's like, I wanted to make it cool for everybody who came in there. They got water, they got beer. That was something that's always nice. You take the edge off with a couple beers. It helps the club because they're like, okay, I'll have this one shitty PBR. Now I'm going to go back to Budweiser or whatever else. I'm going to go buy some beers or go to whiskey or whatever, right? So they took care of you on that thing. Stage-wise, it's a beautiful, fucking area. It sucks to park downtown at all the times. That's one downfall of it. But when you get too many people doing that same shit, somebody fucks it up and then they turn it on the club and go, hey, something happened down there and my band got fucked over, my boyfriend's band got fucked over, and I'll never play there again. And then it goes through the scene and everybody's...
Spreads like wildfire.
Well, and it does. It really, really does. And people don't understand. It's like, you had a problem at one show with one person who booked the wrong bands at that particular time. Every show that I've ever done at the Skyway, there were no fights, there were no bullshit, because they knew I was doing the show and everybody that I'm there with is going to police themselves. It's not going to be a big deal. That's how it was so great at Lee's, is because we came in there. Now, I just never let anybody else book there. I was like, you're fucking stupid. You're going to come in here and ruin this for me. You're not going to. And then when the manager was like, dude, I like your thinking on that deal. And I'm like, why have all these people doing it? If we can do it ourselves and book all the same bands that everybody else is going to book,
yeah, exactly,
it's going to be a cool club, and they're going to want to come here anyway. They want to deal with you because you're not fucking people over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I love when you can go in there and kind of mitigate all that other bullshit. And when I was doing Lee's, it was like everybody else got a club. Everybody else found a venue to book at. And it was like I'd do a show and 4 other shows would be going on at the same time. But they'd come to the club because it was always chill. No fights, no bullshit, and it was, at least it's just off the beaten path of downtown. You know what I mean? I miss that place so much. It's so much fun there. It's a small club, great sound system, great lights, the manager, one of the, the stage guys who managed the Quest in the Mill City and all that shit was like the head guy there, one of my homies. So it was great, I really wanted to do that with Skyway. I really wanted to do it to where it opened and branched out like the Quest for Mayhems used to do. They did 2 rooms and they would swap back and forth, And if you brought a lot of people, that meant you moved up to the big room the next time you played there. We'll see where you're at. Put your fucking money where your mouth is. That type of shit, But it's so difficult, man, to get into a place these days or, find people, the right people to book. And I love the fact that you guys are swapping shows with the band from Fargo too.
Yeah.
I always try to tell bands that is a priority. It should be a priority to get out of town. Like it's great to play here a few times, a year, but getting out and spreading your message and getting your, you know what I mean? Because there ain't 100 fucking pirate bands, Prog pirate bands, or is it? You know what I mean? You guys, you got it locked down, dude. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's cool. It's a cool theme. People love pirates. I dress up as a pirate every time I go to Renaissance Festival. I've got fucking swords. I've got fucking, you know what I mean? Hats. I've got gauntlets. I've got cool shirts, pants, boots. Yeah. I specifically bought my outfit because I absolutely love pirates. I was posting about it and somebody goes, "Are they going to come in with pirate outfits?" And I was like, "I fucking hope so." You know what I mean?
Sorry to disappoint.
I was going to bring one of my hats and just wear it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd been great.
Yeah. Fuck, why not? I love it. I think it's cool. And, when you find good venues and you find good bands to jam with, it's always a plus. It makes the whole experience so much more fun too, and you have the ability to like put the bands you want on there. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to all be prog. You know how it goes when you're booking shows. You don't want everything to sound the same.
Yeah.
You want to stand out in the, in the mix of it all. Now, I want to ask you, when you guys are booking shows, how are you guys when it comes to building a bill? You know, like, do you know which bands you're going to put in those slots in the middle? I know that things have changed through the years. You know, when I was playing, you could, if you proved yourself and you were able to hold bands, you were considered a headliner. You know what I'm saying? Now those headlining spots are that middle, that you know, the second and third or third and fourth in a 5-band. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's never the last band, and a lot of people shy away from that. I know that nowadays a lot of the shows are ending earlier, which is good for us old fuckers that want to get back to their part of town, but also it helps those later bands that aren't, you know what I mean? If you're ending the show at 10 or 11, people are still like, it's still kind of early. I don't have to worry about the bewitching hour and the gauntlet driving home and having too much to drink or whatever. But it's always great to, you know, have a cool lineup all the way through. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys feel about the slots? Are you guys still doing early slots? Are you trying to?
I mean, yeah, I think we're pretty much open to kind of anything.
Yeah, like we're flexible for anything. Like if they ask us to play last, we'll play last. Like I don't know, if we can keep people, awesome. If not, hey, we get to play. Like it's
jumped out like a turbocharged fucking practice.
Yeah,
with a good PA and a state, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Play the rest of the bands.
I really wish more people looked at it like that, because you know, people get really discouraged about the whole thing because I don't want to fucking play last. Everybody leaves, you know, that type of thing. Now, back in the day, it was all about merit. You know what I'm saying? Like you busted your ass, and I've always told bands, like, when you start out, own that first slot. Own that second one. Don't even move to the second one, man. Offer to open that show, to open those doors, you know. Talking to the guys from Evernorth and how they started networking with bands, you know, just showing up at shows, you know, being there and supporting other bands, and then saying, hey, we bet, you know, they see you at the shows. They're like,
yeah.
Oh, you're in a band? So, cool, man. You know, rubbing elbows with people in networking and getting that all set.
I know Andy's a master networker.
Yeah.
That dude is...
He's such a personable guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude. I've known him for like over 10 years now. Like, great dude. Like, nice every time he talked.
All of them are like, every single one of them are super fucking cool guys, man. You know, and that, I mean, that's, if anything, anybody watching the show, that's the one thing that I try to do is tell people, like, this is a good way to do that. This is a way, you know what I mean? Or point it out.
Yeah.
People are doing these cool things in their creative processes with the you know, the dry erase boards, or recording it, or breaking it down, or having specific guys that have those, you know, you work in lights and sound, and you know, you guys have all done some sort of, you know, schooling for music, and that plays such a big factor in the business part of it and moving forward, and sound wise too, you know, getting it down, and shit, you're able to record your own thing in house. That's saves you thousands, dude. You know what I mean? Every single demo, you know.
Well, and especially with everything you can learn just online, like you can learn all these little things, and there's not, I mean, yes, there's some magic to it, but it's not rocket science,
right? Especially
making music. Like, yeah, you can throw some mics together and get something going, and you're going to learn, you know, along the way.
Yeah. And that's always a good thing to tell people. And again, I go back to that cube of opening, you know, music as a whole, as a puzzle, and delving into it and getting into it more and opening your mind. You know what I mean? You see kids and old people even, you know, they have all this music. They're in dementia. They're going through all this stuff, and you play some music of their time, and they fucking perk right up. You know, they just come to life, man. There's got to be something in our brains that unlocks when we open a piece of that puzzle, man. Like I said, every time I hear people's story when it comes to this podcast, I love it so much, man. It is really like the quickening to me, because I go back to those times. Guys like Visceral Reaction, those young kids, man, that are doing the things that I was doing at that age, and I'm going, God damn, if I was that good when I was that age, holy shit, I'd be, and being able to sit with them and say, stay away from the drugs. You know, don't get involved in that shit. Like, be focused on the music. Like, this is important. You guys really do love it. You do care about it. Don't let the drugs and the jaded shit that happens in the music scene, and, you know, let it hold you down. Fuel it. You know what I mean? Turn it around, and, you know, like learning about metal. You know what I'm saying? You realize that, yeah, it's aggressive, and it's a part of life. Like you're not always going to be this happy-go-lucky cat, you know what I'm saying? And this aggression, when you tap into that aggression, it can be positive, man. You're having a shitty day, worst day of your life, music, metal. You play now when you play it, you know, and you've got the fucking ability to hair whip and just not eat, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Being in a room and it's like you've been with these cats playing for years now, and it's like they're not even in the room. You're just fucking pounding it, you know? Dude, I always called it the purge. Practice was the purge for me because you're, you know, the week, you know, you're screaming, you're playing, you're, you know, feeling that vibe, dude.
Yep.
It's taking all that stuff and diverting it into something creative and productive.
Healthy.
Yeah.
It is really
healthy expression.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think that a lot of people get it mixed up when it comes to heavy metal and things like that. Cause you know, they look at us like we're devil worshipers or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand a word you're saying. I always tell people you're not ready for it. Your ears aren't ready for it. You know, it's like, I always think that metal's like jazz to me. It always has been. Like jazz is always chaotic to people unless you know how to listen to it, you know, timing, you know, like the feel is the, you know, once they swing, man, you're like, holy shit, you know, like a good groove. You hit that, it's the stink face, man. Oh, did you really? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you did. Oh, you know, and it's, you know, it pops in your head or get, you know, those riffs that you work on and you're, you know, they pop out of the ether, you grab them and you're playing and all of a sudden you're looping it, you're writing the tune and you leave and it just will not go away. You're just like, oh man, where is that going next? You know, you guys get like that? You know, you're like the earworm, it's always stuck with you. And then you go home and you start writing on it or trying to figure out the next thing. You guys email each other like ideas or anything when it comes to that?
I mean, it's kind of just like I've recently had something that I just kind of like made a whole song. It's just kind of a collection of like 3 or 4 riffs.
Yeah.
And then I sent it to the guys like, what do you guys think? I'm like, thumbs up.
That's all you got was a
We'll work on it.
Like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then we'll like just bench that for later, and then we'll later like come back to it and like flesh it out and actually visit it when we're thinking about like, all right, what should we move on to next?
Right,
like,
the next process.
Yeah,
But
it's also kind of weird right now because we're working on our next like EP thing, and we're like very focused on that. But Wilson and I are still very much writing outside of that, and we've kind of had like I feel like the most time because we haven't been playing as many shows. We've had this EP written for a while, but we're still writing, and we've had so much time to write all of that. Now we have like the most backlogged stuff out of
that
we've ever had. So
that's so cool that the process keeps moving for you guys, man.
I think we have like 19 or 20 ideas right now beyond the EP that we have pretty much fully written.
yeah.
Now, when it comes to that stuff, like say you as a younger band looking at that scenario you just put out, is it important to you guys to continue writing at all times? Like you're always creating something more, moving things forward?
I'll personally go through phases.
Yeah.
It kind of ends up being like where we are in our songwriting and production. Because I'm the guy that's recording and mixing, but like sometimes we've had it where like Jared's whole focus will be getting prepped to record. Once he's done recording, he can kind of relax a little bit and maybe he'll start getting into older projects that he was kind of looking to freshen up and come up with some new ideas while me and Craig are recording stuff. And then by the time all that's done and it's out, then I can kind of get a little rest, peace of mind, reset, and then I'll start like writing some things.
So Horizons was pretty much written before Chaos was done recording.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. And so we turned that one around in a year, where we had 2019, we released Chaos. 2020, we released Horizons. And then Golden Heart took a lot longer, just for various reasons.
Yeah.
But we still had, I had several of those songs written before we were done recording Horizons even.
That's great. That's great to keep the process moving, man. That's really cool. I think that people, I mean, like as a creative person, you should always keep it moving. I'm guilty of it myself, just stop writing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was disillusioned by music, you know what I mean? Like you get into scenarios with folks and you're jamming with them for so long, you know what I mean? You get into that process. You go from practicing multiple days a week and you get older and you have kids and life happens and all of that other shit. But then it's like we would go on these tangents of where we would write for months and then all of a sudden we would hit this spell where we wouldn't practice for months either, And it just got so frustrating because we were in the process of writing another album and we were halfway there, And then you get to, you guys know, are we going to do an EP? Are we going to do a full length, or should we do singles? Should we release videos? What should we do? And it's so you hear so many conflicting things about that. Like you want to be in people's periphery at all time. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, dude, they released a new video and that's super cool. And oh, they released a playthrough on this thing. They did that, and it's so important for people to like keep moving and processing. Man, it's great to hear. You guys have a backlog. That's killer, man. You ever think about doing, and I know you talked about the concept albums. You ever think about doing like a double EP or anything like that, like a A/B side type of thing?
Well, we kind of had this concept. Like we have the current EP we're working on.
Yeah.
Then I had this concept of like literally called non-canon.
Yeah.
Where it's maybe just like a volume of like releases that have nothing really to do with pirates, and it's us writing maybe more normal songs, if you will.
Right.
But like, yeah, like,
and not like narratively intertwined with kind of the albums that we've done and the story that we've done.
Right.
Which, I mean, right now our next EP thing is completely unrelated, though I don't have any like story or lyrics written for it yet.
Right.
Which it'll come. And we've got some ideas of
And
so
it will be
maybe
a concept
partnering.
EP.
Huh?
It will be a concept EP still.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
there's still a theme, but
So
and there is even a way that I can see a story of that intertwining with what we've done, in addition to tying in another band concept album. But
damn,
I don't know.
Wicked.
It
man. At
remains
least you got
to
a
be
lot of ideas, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it remains to be fully fleshed out, but the idea is there.
Keep it fresh, man.
Mhm.
Keep it focused. That's badass, man. And what we got? We got one more tune, right? We got the drop, correct?
Yes.
What's that one about?
So this one opens up the Golden Heart, and it is basically the mutiny happening, and at the end, the captain is dropped off the ship underwater.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's it. He's
It's
gone.
brutal.
It's gone.
Yeah.
I think I wrote this one in one of the quiet rooms at the Dakota County Public Library.
all right.
And I think I wrote this
Didn't know
one.
that.
I wrote most of it in a day, and then came back to it and wrote the end. And yeah,
Well, yeah, and this was originally, I guess we took that longer song and broke it up, and this is like the first half of it. So this,
No,
yeah,
that was
this Into the Rise, that was one full song originally.
Oh yeah, wasn't it?
And then we were like, let's actually break it up into a shorter
I
section.
wrote them
and then-
separate and combined them because the intro to the Rise was tied in.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, yeah, okay.
I'm coming in partway through.
Yeah. I did.
I don't know what you wrote. I don't know what we write.
I didn't know it came from the library.
I probably did send it to them as one long thing where it was the two songs combined because I had written for the end of the drop, the bell outro to go into the intro of the Rise. But it was written as two separate songs with the,
Full backstory on
The
that.
more you know.
Dude, hell yeah, that's
Man.
But yes,
badass.
Flesh God Apocalypse influenced this song.
Influenced it? Is that what you said?
Influence, yes.
Nice.
That was one of the kind of bigger influences for this one.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you admit that, though. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people will go, what do you sound like? Well, it doesn't sound like you. Just the concept came from that. I love when people do that. The structure. You know what I mean? There's a
Getting a vibe from that.
Yeah,
and
I love that, dude.
making it into our own.
Why be ashamed of that, dude? You're obviously you're always gonna be, pushed forward by something that you're listening to, something you're consuming.
That's how you're getting inspiration.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah.
External and then process and then.
Oh, I can hear that one band and that. I've never listened to that band in my life, dude. You know what I mean? I love that part. You got to listen to Slayer all the time. Do you have that? And it's like, no, not even fucking close, dude. That's funny. I think it's funny. You have no clue what I'm talking about, dude. You guys, I appreciate you coming in and doing this podcast. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I love hearing your story, and I love that you guys are going in a positive direction, and you got lots of material ready to rock. You've got 2 shows coming up, one on the 18th and one on the 19th. 19th at the Underground Music Venue or Cafe. Is that what it's called?
Cafe.
Yeah. I think we are in the cafe space.
That is Lapse of Fate from Fargo. You guys and the
Lamellas?
Lamellas?
I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
What's you guys know those cats? What are they?
No, I don't.
Not a
I don't
clue.
think I've.
We should probably
I've
look
never
into
seen
them.
Watch, it's just some lounge jack, baby. Just comes in, say, hey, how's it going?
Got to keep it fresh.
Yeah,
a
hell
little
yeah.
different.
And
Mixed
then
up.
we got the 18th, is in Fargo at the Aquarium, 21 plus, 15 at the door, 15 in advance, 17 at the door. The 19th, 8 in advance, 12 at the door. I'm confusing everybody, dude. You can see it. It's on the
They
screen.
make it way too complicated.
Pay money, see bands.
Yeah.
$10.
Thrash around.
There you go.
Unga
That's
bunga.
what it should be.
That's what it should be, man. It's goofy like that. Now people are charging $32 to go see some shit you'd see for $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, if you pay $5, you can check out our Patreon, which we post weekly jams on.
Oh,
Ooh.
there you go.
Cheap plug.
How do they? What's your Patreon? What? Give me.
Corsair MN
Nice.
Yep.
On Patreon.
on Patreon.
Badass. You heard it here, man. Go check these guys out on a regular basis, right? You're dropping things on a regular?
Yeah, we do like our weekly jams that we record. We'll just throw those up, and we'll do like in process, like graphic stuff and some
Nice.
behind the scenes. And
You guys got a few subscribers? You got people that come and check it out?
yeah, there's a couple that have been regular.
Very
Good.
cool, man.
Yeah.
They come and mess with you at the shows and shit too?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Andrew, I think his name was. Yeah, he came to the I think Calaveras dance he was at.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him there.
Badass. That's very cool,
Yeah.
man.
I'm gonna put some drum tabs on there in a little while as well.
Corsair MN on Patreon.
Yes,
Learn how to
indeed.
play our songs.
Yeah,
Better than
dude.
we can.
Yeah.
There you go. Somebody will come and go, hey, dude, I know that song. No, you don't, dude.
Maybe somebody else can learn to play He's a Pirate.
Okay, if
I don't wanna
somebody,
play.
if
We'll just have a
somebody-
guest band come up
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
it. And be
It'll be great.
If somebody learns how to play He's a Pirate on drums, I will give them a free hug and a free T-shirt.
There you go. Woo!
that's it.
You heard it
That's
here
it.
first, man. Hugs and free T-shirts and shit. You gotta love that.
I'd say they get a feature on a song.
Yeah,
There you go.
that would
Yay.
They
Up in the ante.
They can
Yeah.
write the drum part for a
Ooh.
song on the next Corsair album.
Yeah,
How
there
about
You
that?
play?
Yes, and I'll play.
Oh.
I'll learn it. And
That's
play.
sick.
I don't think I've seen anyone do that.
Look at that.
That'd be
You guys
great.
are starting
Hey.
to do cool things right there.
Sign
know,
up for the Patreon.
We
Yeah.
really do try to like break new ground, and
That's
like
cool.
I'm always open to doing new things and trying out, being a guinea pig,
Very cool.
experimenting.
Very
Sail
cool.
the
man.
uncharted waters.
Yes.
There you go. Hell yeah. Keep it going, man. Hell yeah.
Mhm.
It's badass. Very cool. Very, very cool. So again, support these guys. Go see them on the 18th and the 19th in town here at the Underground Music Cafe. Let me see here. We've got, let me see. The Drop is the last tune. Anything else you guys want to say goodbye to anybody or shout out anybody or flip anybody off? No?
I'd say just shout out Evernorth show tomorrow.
Woo!
Yes.
I'll be doing some projector visuals at it. It'll be great.
I will
It's
gonna be a cool
attending
show.
as well in a non-professional capacity.
I want to go to that show really bad, but I'm broke as a dog, so I'm kind of like, damn, do I scrounge? I got to look at my couch. I might have a couple bucks in my couch.
You probably know someone that
I
could
got
get you on the list, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to, I'd
It's
never,
always nice support.
I never like to do that because you want to support the shows, but,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe if I'm doing this and supporting them or pumping their shows, they could let me in, but I've only done that to Leo Presents. I'm like, dude, if I'm sharing them, will you? If I ask, I'm like, I won't go to every show, but
you
I'm
just
like,
got to get a press pass.
There you go. I
do a video.
I do got a camera.
There you go.
I got a camera. I got a pretty nice camera too. I was gonna hit up Andy and bug him, but I don't want to do that. I know how important it is to support your homies when it comes to shows, and it's difficult to get those spots at. I mean, Amsterdam doesn't give up those shows, or they didn't used to give up local shows too much. They've been doing it a lot now lately. I've seen a lot of different things go through there, which is really cool for them to open their doors to local music, which is very cool. So big up on you, Amsterdam. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it anyways, right? Again, I appreciate you guys coming in and doing the show. Let me know when you guys release again, and we'll get something set up. I'm out into April or October right now, so whenever you guys are like in the kind of time frame of releasing, I'd love to have you come on and play some new stuff and chat more about whatever. And I'm sure more shit will happen to you in different shows and whatnot. And it always happens with people when they come on. They're like, oh, I forgot to talk about that. I got this to talk about, or I forget something, and then we'll just start off where we left off, where we left. You know what I mean?
Sounds great.
I appreciate you fellas for coming in. Thank you to everybody for checking this out. See that? I had a stroke right there, dude. Checking out the show.
You smell burnt toast.
I do, actually. It's just I farted, but anyway, it's all good. I'm old, dudes, dust. But thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. Here's the drop, folks. Have a good evening. Peace out. Oh, that's not it. I fucked it all up. Now they're going to play together.
Not again.
Chaos. Complete chaos. There we go.
Perfect.
Now I got it.
Look in their eyes, no one betrayed them. All promise of comfort to dust it has faded out. Hearing their cries, call for the mutiny, seeps down in the depths of my soul, cast to judge, revealing the hate. Burning decision, deep shadow consuming their claws, snatching aftermath. Tasting the blood, voices of hatred call on down the chains. Tie the rope, take the captain out.
Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual